Yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the I closed my notepad. Where is it? The 750th episode of GeekVerse Podcast and the 305th volume of Marvel Alliance. I am the podcaster of Mischief Trust Snail, and I'm joined by. Where are we going? This is different. Yeah.
Which direction you want to go?
Oh, you spoke first. You take it.
All right. Well, I'm the nerd with the mouth, David.
It's a standoff.
I'm the spirit of vengeance, State of Field.
And I'm the man without fear, Chris.
Yes, we are here for now, I guess, what has become a bi-yearly tradition, because the last two Marvel Comic-Cons was in 2022 and then 24, and I guess it would have been, obviously COVID happened, but I guess 2019 they did one after Endgame, right? When they revealed like the multiverse saga or whatever, or was that? Yeah, it definitely wasn't 2020.
Yeah, didn't happen.
Right, and that's when we got Mahershala Ali's Blade, all that type of stuff. So what we are here today, obviously, unless we get lucky and find somebody, but even then, people have said Hall H security is tight, so I don't know if someone puts up a camera, they might lose an arm. But what we're going to do, as we've done before, is we're going to react to the news as it comes. We're going to make predictions. We're going to talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day and the downtime and anything else in between. So this is a perfect cast. If you're ever watching live, throw in a comment. Obviously, make it somewhat adjacent to like news topic and stuff like that. You know, on the other night, someone asked us if we believed in Jesus. Maybe not the time today to talk about that. But if the panel really sucks, then maybe we'll go around and share our Jesus stories. But no, we got the panel starting about.
I might buy out on that one.
No, we'll give Chris the one on that one. He'll lead us there. But no, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna break it all down. There's lots of rumors, lots of stuff. We're not gonna talk about maybe any rumors we've heard yet, because in case you haven't, we don't want to spoil it. So we will talk around those things. But David, so anything that's not been out there, what do you think is like a general game plan of what we're seeing tonight from Marvel, or what we're reading from what other people are seeing from Marvel, as it usually goes here?
All right, so I don't think we're going to get much in the way of Spider-Man other than maybe hey, remember it's coming out Wednesday, just a teaser footage, maybe a call-in from Tom, but I don't expect like any in-live things happening. I do think that we will get more details on X-Men, whether it is casting or just the title of the future X-Men, but I do think that they will touch on the X-Men and give a little bit more about where they're going after Doomsday. I don't think they're going to be announcing any major movies or anything, but just kind of like, hey, here's the general feel of what we are planning with what we already happened. And probably that same stuff from Vision Quest that I've been hearing floating around out there will probably get talked about some more.
Yeah, it's been interesting, right? Because I feel like there's been Comic-Cons where TV has had a big presence and then it's had a very little one. I know they have talked about Vision Quest already this week. Michael Giacchino talked about the score and stuff. So I'm wondering if there's any, like, if I imagine they have a sizzle reel and maybe there's like little snippets of Vision Quest in there. It's only an hour of the panel, so I don't know even if it's gonna get like a 5-minute thing. So I think I lean towards it'll get some mentions, sizzle, but who knows? Maybe they have someone there to walk out and everything. But I think I agree with you on the X-Men like logo and title. I don't think there's any and I never thought that, just because I in general, even now when we hear all these rumors about Adam Driver, and now there's like God, who was rumored last night? He's the guy from Succession. He's playing Mark Zuckerberg in the next movie.
God,
what is his name?
Jeremy Strong. Jeremy Strong.
So yeah, apparently he's been in talks for the either like Magneto or Xavier. It wasn't like I don't know. I don't mean he was auditioning for both, but it was one of these where it's like they don't know. I'm even surprised we're getting these rumors now, but then last week when we heard that, it's planned to come out in the summer of 2028, it's like, I guess that's why, right? Because if they're going to start filming next year, that's what's going to happen. So I think mentions of X-Men, alluding, I think maybe even a title, but while you have the Fox X-Men, I've never thought you'd do much of the cast. You can leave that later on. And this isn't even like anything that's out there. I just always thought that Black Panther 3 makes sense because I just feel like Coogler wants to get that done and then move on to, it's very much like Nolan with The Dark Knight Rises, where I feel like he wants to complete that loop, do that trilogy, and then he's going to go off and do his own stuff now. So yeah, if we get the big D, I'll be excited for that. But yeah, I think it's going to be very Doomsday heavy. It's just a question of, is it a lot of Doomsday heavy where it's like it's great to be there in the crowd, or is it Doomsday heavy where it is like, hey, this person's in there and oh, we're covering this and that? That's what we never know when we're not boots on the ground, right? It can be a great show, but we've been there before from some panels like, oh, it must have been fun to be there, but not much else, so.
Yeah, I think it's a tough thing, when Feige comes out, when you have the Doomsday trailer drop, like a full trailer. Like, we were thinking, okay, it's going to be like a 30 seconds, and they're going to save the actual trailer for Comic-Con. Well, they didn't do that. So
yeah, exactly, right?
We're just like, oh, gosh, what do they have? And then Feige I think he kind of gets forced to come out and say, like, no, we have stuff. Just be ready. We're not, and he's not wrong. We don't come to Comic-Con when we don't have anything big. Like, And they were right. The years we skipped, we missed them, but they didn't have to come to that Comic-Con. So I think it's going to be interesting if there's some big reveals in the sense of casting, whether it be for Doomsday or even Secret Wars. I don't think we're going to get anything really for Secret Wars. I think they have to wait until Doomsday does itself before that. But any kind of major casting, I think we're going to get some major casting for this. But I think, again, it's Catch-22, where do you spoil the moment by, and I'll stick with my thing. I think they are going to hold their cards close to one or two ones to have that moment.
And they definitely should, right? Because there's two type of moments. There is the moment a couple of years ago, Downey at Comic-Con. Whenever you feel the casting, that was like a trending moment. That was where it was smart to put that out there to, if you want buzz, that got you there. You rolled out the Russos, you rolled out Doctor Doom, then you rolled out Downey. 3 strikes, home run. Not 3 strikes. You thought 3 bases, but it was a home run, right? So I think that's why people started thinking the X-Men stuff was happening, because it's like, oh, well, they dropped the trailer on Monday. They got something big, right? Where I think we kind of maybe misremember where this is a stage show and a lot of the big stuff just happens where it is, this person being here. But I do think there's going to be some stuff. So, Taylor, I also know there's probably one thing, but other than that specific thing, which if that doesn't happen, we'll talk about. But what else do you think could be? Do you think it'll be mostly Doomsday stuff? Do you think there's anything new? I see there's a question from Espos which I'll throw in there, because that was our speculation before of like, hey, if you do something in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, what could it be? Because like there's not much time. I keep pointing this out to people, and I'm wondering tonight if we get an update. Doomsday was filming April 2025. That's coming out, obviously, this December. Secret Wars is still not filming, and it is like the same type of timeline. So I'm wondering if they're tonight going to be like, oh, we're going into production. If not, I wonder if something's up with Secret Wars and it's going to get pushed just because I feel like I could be wrong, but I imagine that's a bit of a bigger movie than Doomsday, and they're going to have less time for post-production and film. Like, I don't know. Again, I don't know how these big productions
I just think you
work.
have to have another project in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. And
but again, like we said, where do you release it on the schedule, right? That summer's packed, March is packed.
Well, you shove something.
What does Disney have that they could shove? Hey, I'll pull up. Let me put up the Disney 2027
Probably another
releases.
Avatar.
No, that's 20. When is the next? Actually, when is? Oh, they're not even filming that.
They're not
right?
filming it yet. Yeah, because he was thinking of putting it into a book.
You didn't make $2 billion. It's over for you, James. You're out.
That's right. I have to be careful because I'm not sure what's rumor and what's confirmed.
I'd say anything our GV Discord's rumored right now of the last like 2 hours that dropped in there. That's just rumored stuff going on. So next year they got Frozen 3, Starfighter, and Avengers: Secret Wars. There's probably other ones. You got Ice Age. You can push Ice Age, but that's February. I think most their big titles, Taylor, are, I guess you got Gato. You got that movie coming out. That's the cat movie. It's a cat animated movie, but I think most of them are some really heavy hitters,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's tricky, but there's still some wiggle room, I'd say. So your initial question was regarding
what do you think they
Doomsday
do?
And what they kind of show
or what do they
off
show?
here?
Yeah, what do they do in general for this? Big panel mostly in Doomsday. What do you think?
I mean, what else would they kind of show off with Doomsday? I mean, I feel like we got the trailer and we got like other things that have kind of been unveiled. Like with that trailer, a lot of stuff kind of was just like, hey, here's the teams, here's all this stuff going down. So I don't really know what else that they can kind of pivot to. I'm curious to see what hat Feige's wearing when he walks out on the stage. But
well, it's got to be a Doomsday hat, right?
Yeah,
is it gonna be Doomsday? What if it's something else? Maybe it's
a Vision
something.
Quest hat.
Doomsday or X-Men.
It could legitimately be Vision Quest. He has done that too. But
yeah, he has. Yeah. The only other thing I guess we haven't talked about too before is like, is it more people in Doomsday that we didn't know? Like Chris said, they want to leave some as a surprise. but then there's probably still something they want to confirm. Like we've always heard rumblings, and I don't think this I'm referring to past stuff, right? Of like, okay, where's Halle Berry, right? You know, where's some of these other or like X-Men people? Where's some other variant people? You know, like that's the thing. And again, this is stuff of the past as well. Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds was reported. I can't remember at what point, but Deadline or like one of the A tier people reported that they were in that movie, right? So it's like, do you just roll him out? But at the same time, I just feel like with how good that trailer, I'm sure they're going to show some people tonight we don't know. I don't know if you need to do that right now. Like, I just feel like save that for the movie and then Secret Wars. It's kind of like the No Way Home thing of like showing Toby and Andrew, or did not showing them worked out, you know?
I think if you're having Deadpool, that's a save for.
That's a save one, you think?
Yeah. If you're showing Deadpool, you save that for the movie. You got to get that pop. I mean, if you spoil it now, that's a waste.
Yeah.
And that's
I
where
agree.
I think there's still going to be one or two that they're going to hold back on. You know, it's almost for those. When I'm thinking of that, I'm thinking of a person that hasn't been in the MCU, like a Hugh Jackman and Deadpool. Okay, they've been there. We kind of expect them. Toby and Andrew, I'm still kind of 50-50 in the sense of, do you reveal that or do you save that? You know,
Like for this one or Secret Wars, you saying?
I say just
In general?
if they happen to be in Doomsday, one of them happens to be Doomsday.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know if the juice is going to be worth the squeeze on that one. I think it's almost like it was, we all know, but until you see it, until Andrew came out of that portal, I was like, oh my God, it actually is happening, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where, to me, I feel like Secret Wars is where you save that's when we're going to do all the marketing, all the promoting. We're going to have, because I always said that before, there is a case to Andrew and Toby not being the promotion for No Way Home. You missed some stuff. It worked out for them. But, like, I think Secret Wars is when you do everything. I've said this before. It's a joke, but, like, the poster. You know, that poster of Jackman, Downey, Deadpool, Holland, you know, that type of stuff. But to get a few questions before we get to the show, because we got about 17 minutes. I suppose it says we was listening to GV trailer for breakdown for Doomsday. You guys were talking about how it'd be too late to start filming and drop something next year. But random thought, what about something animated? Which would be interesting. Like I don't think it's impossible. It would just be crazy because then I would have felt that they would have had to been working on it and nobody had scooped that, which has happened, right? There's things that people don't scoop and it just comes out. I wouldn't like. If you're to tell me there's an animated like Marvel, and I wonder would it be an MCU or like a What If tale, I really don't know. I'd be very down for them to dip their toes into that, and that would be a good buffer in between the two because I don't think that's going to take away too hard from Doomsday. But yeah, what do you guys think? Something in the animate or like some animated show or even a movie special surprise announcement for next year? I still think we got a good chance at like a special presentation announcement. That's another thing I think you could get tonight. Yeah,
I think that's plausible. It's still hard in the sense of a live action thing that hasn't been filmed yet, especially with all the stuff. Even if it's not a movie or a TV show, that's still not a lot of time.
No, but look at that Punisher one. I think that had a quick turnaround, right? Now, I'm not saying you would make it the size. It might be something bigger, but if you do something like that where, hey, we're going to lock in, it's one character, one environment, go, I think you could get something. And that's where maybe if you don't have a movie next year in between, you could market that as the next big thing, right? In between Doomsday and Secret Wars is we're going to make a really big special presentation on who I really don't know. Like, I feel like it has to be someone that's not S tier, but not B tier either. Like it has to be like it's like it has to be a solid A, but I don't know who it would be, right? So I don't know. So, but I'd be down for some animation.
Yeah.
Let's see. It'd be cool if we got the Alien vs Predator news. That you know what?
Cool.
That'd be cool if that was the animated movie. If it was, they're like we're adapting
Punisher
the Marvel
versus Predators, or was it Alien? Punisher versus Alien or Punisher?
No,
versus
Punisher
Predator?
versus Predator is the next
Okay,
one
yeah,
up. But
that's what we need.
that would be cool if they're like, hey, you know that Predator Marvel run? We're gonna adapt that animated form. That would be that would be a big pop. That'd be really cool. You get Arnold on stage, you know, you get him in there. So let's see, maybe a continuation of the Spider-Man 90s series. I think I don't think it's happening while Spider-Man Friendly Neighborhood's happening, but I think if that happened, that'd be D23. I think.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, remember they'll probably do some of their big stuff here, but yeah, D23. It's it's actually a real D23 this year. It's an every year thing, so they're gonna have some things they're gonna put out there for that.
That's happening on August 14th, so just under a month from now. So they're still gonna have stuff saved, you know. So let's see here. Oh look, someone reposted the stream. It looks like it's your Bassentia, but I don't think it is. She didn't have Twitter,
No.
does she? No.
No, she does not. That's not how you spell her name.
I was just joking because I was like, what's going on there? Sung-Chi's sister's back? Yeah, sure. She could be the big surprise. They did say the Tang Ratings was returning, right?
Yeah. Remember that show that we supposedly were getting and didn't?
Yeah, they didn't, and we, and they haven't said anything, right? So, let's see. What about this? Or revamped Defender show spinning off of Born Again. What do we think about that?
I don't know if I'm ready to see the full Defenders back. I think right now just sticking with and making Daredevil as good as possible, and then sprinkling in your stuff in there is the place to go right now. Focus on the one, and then once you tell that complete story, if you then want to go off onto the others, cool. But last time the Defenders seemed like, all right, we're here, so we have to do this. Like, they built everything, and I felt like they kind of rushed some storylines to get to Defenders, and I don't want them to do that again.
To piggyback on that, and again, I don't want to spoil anything because I just don't know. I know it was in our Discord, but with a certain thing cut from Brand New Day, I feel like, okay, that's them maybe choosing not to go Defenders. That's okay. Okay, there was the Dawson
she
thing.
talked about that. That wasn't a rumor. She talked about that at a panel. That said that she did confirm that she filmed a scene for Brand New Day and they cut it, which sucks because I'd have to see the scene. I imagine just for time wise, but I feel like it wasn't like a huge scene. Like, I don't think but maybe they just.
I don't think it's setting up anything like Defenders is coming or anything like that.
No,
I think
it
it's
just
like a
would've been
Matt
cool
Murdock
to see,
in No Way Home kind of thing, which is just cool to see. It just kind of fits the narrative.
Yeah, I just wanted them. That would have been cool for her. But for me with Defenders, I think nothing of that ilk happens till after Daredevil Born Again Season 3 to see how it all goes down. I think they're going to wait on that. They're going to see the reception if people are hype on it, then announce it afterwards. Because, again, we got to remember there's a big drop from Daredevil Season 1 to 2 for Born Again for viewership. Yeah. At the same time, it might not matter because if they're shooting it cheap enough, they might go, hey, it's still hitting the numbers we're happy with. Like, it's lower, but it's still happy with. We'll see. And I think we all know the Disney Plus stuff is going to be a lot more Netflix era again, where they're kind of being more smaller. So I think we won't know until after Born Again if we're getting another Defenders. I'd be down, but I think it's I'm like a 50-50 right now if it's happening. I think Jessica Jones, something related, is like I'm a high 90 on that happening because I think that's easy. Mm-hmm. She's a detective. She's working on take cases. You can have Luke appear. You can have Iron Fist appear. Very easy, right?
Make it the show that all the randoms appear and you never know who's going to come in week to week.
Yeah, they can look at the Gorilla Garage show and be like, hey, we got one of those detectives. We're gonna have Jessica Jones do about this. And Wambu says, I think the cast are gonna go on stage. Yeah, I don't think all the cast, because obviously it's a huge cast to try and narrow down. But the rumor is it's at least 30 actors. So I think the people that are gonna get their show. So and this is interesting. I'll go back to the other one. DWS says, I mean, Hugh Jackman or Toby announced it would blow the roof off place. Absolutely. Has Toby ever been to Comic-Con? Obviously, that wasn't happening in those weren't happening in the Raimi era, right? For Spider-Man? They didn't have panels like that, did they?
No.
I don't think so. So I was trying to think about that, right? Because I remember it was a couple... Oh, with Brave New World. It was a huge deal when Ford went, right? Because that was his first Comic-Con. I think there's always those legends you should look at and be like...
Correction. He did in 2006 for Spider-Man 3. That was the only one. Go. That's the only one that he's done for.
Which even then, what it is now, it's like much it's smaller, but like these panels bring the heat, and that's where it's like that would be cool to see him get that big reaction, that big pop. But again, could you not do that next year, right? If they do something for Secret Wars, they could do the same thing where if they're in there, roll them out, get those big reactions, everything. I do think there's going to be a panel next year. I am with Chris. I think the announcements will be light, but I think that'll just be like let's just hype up the crowd showing really cool people. Again, a photo on stage of just like that at the was it Comic-Con or it was Comic-Con when they had the first lineup of the Avengers, right? Like before they started filming. If you get that on stage photo of Downey, Evans, Holland, Hemsworth, Jackman, just like in regular, that's a cool photo. Even the photo, it didn't end up being cool, but when Fox was going hard in 2013, and they announced the Wolverine, the Gambit movie, Fantastic, and Days of Future Past. But remember that huge photo that had all like Michael B. Jordan's Human Torch, and they had
Channing Tatum in there.
Yeah, he
along
had the
with
Gambit
Stan
cut.
Lee, yeah,
and that was after Days of Future Past, where it was like, oh, they actually are like they're contenders again. They're rolling. It didn't go that way, but it's always cool to get that vibe of everyone's together and it feels bigger than life, right? So, I really don't know. I think I'm with Chris that I would save them both. If I was to sit me down, I'd say you don't need them right now. Save them for you got a whole nother movie to promote. I would say for some reason, if the Doomsday tickets and trailer views were below their expectations, they'd go, you know what? Maybe we do need some more juice. I think last week showed us they're fine. They're perfectly
like 1,000 theaters, and it outperforms Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes, and it got and it got very close to Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and that had way more theaters that are like on sale for like sale wise, right? It got similar numbers, and even in trailer number 2 behind Spider-Man, that's good numbers too. I don't know which are gonna beat each other, but I think they're still happy to be in that realm there.
But it proves the point we've been saying, like, where's the trailer? Where's the trailer? They don't need one. You know, this proved it that they didn't even have to do 5 months out. You know?
They could do that. I think I said that on our episode where this could be the one trailer, and I think they'd be fine. I think they'd be completely fine. They wouldn't have to do more. Spider-Man, look at that. Spider-Man's been gone for 5 years, and it's tracking. The tracking right now is 260 to 300 domestic. It could have a 300 million opening domestic. You shitting me? Like that's and because I would have never if I would have pizza bet someone that it wouldn't pass No Way Home. The fact that it could at least match or pass it, I'm very surprised. Yeah. So and again, he's been gone for 5 years. I know it's in the DC realm. That does give me hope for the Batman because that's always been my worry of like, oh, are people it's gonna be too long? I think with Spider-Man that shows, hey, if people love that property and that love that character and actor matching, they'll sit around for it. And look at Holland. It's tracking huge, right? So, let's see here. I would be shocked if an Eternals actor walked on stage, but I would welcome it. Who would be the one? Who would be the one Eternal? I got one, but I'll
King
say
Giles.
who Terry Styles? I would say
we haven't figured out what happened to him after the post credits. Like, where are we going with him?
Yeah, I would say it would be Kamel. I don't even think I'm bullshitting. I actually think Kamel would be like. Just because they had Kingo and so much stuff there for a while, and he's like the glue that keeps them all together. So,
and his character with its comedic timing plus his semi-serious moments, like you can slot him into whatever. So unless I don't see them doing Kit Harington unless they plan on doing something with Marvel Knights at this point.
No, I don't. I don't think so. And plus, if the Eternals are in there, I think they're just to be like. Killed off as fodder, you know. They're not sticking around past that. Taylor, what's the one Eternal that you could see in this?
Well, I was thinking Styles for sure. That would be, but no. Kingo, that's how you say his name?
Yeah, that's Camille Nanjiani. Yeah,
I do feel like that's got to have the most probability for sure. I'm trying to remember what his project was that he appeared in because it was What If, right? And then
What If? And
was he in Zombies?
His poster says. I can't remember if he was in Zombies, but his like images appeared in a lot of stuff because he's always starring in movies in the MCU. So or in the universe there. So we got 6 minutes left. Where does the panel stand on Spidey versus Doomsday box office? Also, we got the trailer views, we got the tracking and stuff. Where are you, Dave, right now on July 25th, 2026? Gun to your head. Who's winning that battle?
As it stands right now, I think Spidey's winning that battle.
Really? Okay. I'm still going to go on the ladder with Doomsday just because of surprises. And Mike asked this question. He's the one that got me onto this a couple of years ago. The December box office can always be magic. If you can find that and just have those families and keep going. December, like we bring this all the time. Mufasa had like a $40 million opening weekend. Everyone's like, oh, it's dead. It bombed. Went on to make almost $800 million just because it opened in that Christmas season where it's like, let's go see this again. So I'm gonna go to Doomsday, but I think it would be close, like within 100 to 150, even 200. It depends how good Doomsday is, obviously, right? So.
I think Spidey running unopposed helps him, and I also think the child aspect of Spidey, because as a dad, you know, when you're taking your family, you're more inclined to do that one than you are to as an adult. Well, I'll see Doomsday, and then, you know, if it's good, then me and the kids will watch it on streaming. as opposed to Spidey. That's more you've got the summertime, you got the kids and everything else. It's running unopposed as to where Doomsday's, they don't have that IMAX screening. They've got their fake vision going, but yeah, I don't see them getting those numbers.
All right, Chris, where are you at then right now?
Because this kind of ties into my overall factor fiction for the year that only one's going to make it to $1 billion.
Oh, do you feel that? Do you feel like you're wrong on that one now? Maybe I feel like they're both hitting $1 billion now.
No, I don't think they're both going to hit $1 billion. I think
Really?
there's going to be one. I think there's going to be one that's going to stand out versus the other. I got to stick to the gun.
Okay.
I got to stick with. I'm not.
Yeah,
I can't. I put it out there. I
get
got to
it.
stick with it. But which one's going to be the box office champion? I think I'll lean towards Spider-Man just because of the kind of global recognition of the character in this GA friendliness with it. Avengers, I would have felt better about the Avengers if the recent phases did better.
Yes.
I think the lead in has hurt the Avengers brand, and we've all said it. The biggest mistake these three phases have made is that it's taken us this long to get to an Avengers movie. And I think
Absolutely,
that's hurt it.
I do wonder though, with the family friendly, it does have that. But as we saw in No Way Home, if you save those people like a Jackman or a Toby, none of their surprises, it does get that.
Oh yeah, that word of
you
mouth,
gotta
yeah.
go see it. You gotta go check it out. So, okay, Taylor. So far, the Marvel Alliance guys with me or not with me. Where are you now? You are you turning against? You betraying your own race, as they'd say in Avatar.
I mean, I was just looking at the earnings. I mean, you got Spider-Man versus Avengers films. I mean,
All Avengers have made $1 billion. Spider-Man only has $2 billion.
Yeah, that's.
But it's been a
well,
while,
I mean,
and Tom Holland's stock is raised, and Daya's stock is raised.
it is, and I think that's just. Yeah, I mean, it's been a break, and I feel like there was kind of back in the day after No Way Home. Me being who I am, wasn't sure if we were gonna get Tom Holland Spider-Man again. I mean, maybe at some point in the future, depending on how things go. But things seemed very murky, and it's just like, okay, like are we gonna get it? What are they gonna do here? It seemed like, at the end of the day, like Disney can't just like pull that card. You got to work with Sony, right? Because Sony's got a little bit of leverage on that character too. So me and I'm sure others might have just been like a little apprehensive. But then when you look at what Avengers is pulling in, yeah. My God, like Infinity War $2 billion, Endgame 2.7 worldwide.
Even their lowest, what's Ultron? It's like
Ultron
1.4 or something.
Just under 1.4.
Okay. Yeah, and that's where I think for me, I'm on the other side, Chris, where I think they're both hitting $1 billion now. With Spider-Man, it's like this hype for Spider-Man's way bigger than I thought. I always thought it would have hype, but it just really feels like people missed Tom Holland as Spider-Man. And I do think this is like the previews have been good. I haven't loved the trailers, but I think for the general audience they have. So I think I'm in the camp where I think they're both hitting 1.5. I don't think anyone's hitting 2. The only way I think Doomsday can hit 2 if it is... Yeah, only way if the Russos pull off a huge miracle and it's like great, like even if it's not the quality of Infinity War and Endgame, just a notch below that, then I could see it getting those like a Project Hail Mary where it's like you got to go back and witness this event. But there's a lot of places to spin on that one, so I really don't know.
I give Spider-Man the edge.
Just real quick, there's going to be a delay in the panel. The last one was late.
Oh, okay, it was late. Okay, thank you. So there you go.
I give Spider-Man a little bit of an edge too because it's not just a standalone superhero movie here. Obviously, Hulk is Savage Hulk, but you have Bruce Banner's Hulk returning, and you've got what was the other
Punisher?
Frank Castle, yeah. So you've got a few other interconnected characters here that are joining the fold here. Plus characters we're not even aware of that they could just throw in too, which is pretty exciting. So I do think that both of them are going to make $1 billion. I really do.
Yeah. So we're in this stage now. So it is something where we will talk about boots on the ground. So this is no longer spoilers. This is stuff that people are sitting there and talking about. There was a report that someone said that's sitting at Hall H that there was a revving of a motorcycle inside Hall H. It's not a drill. There was a revving of a motorcycle. So I'm not going to say who. I'm just going to say that. So I won't say that part. But man, if that person does roll out on a motorcycle, that is... I don't. I think we're here. We're here. We can talk about it. For years,
Just John Bernthal. driving out on a motorcycle.
it's just him. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
Yeah.
something, Flame Skulls.
You're gonna love Spider-Man. Hey, he could be a Cosmic Ghost Rider, right? But
Yeah.
Oh God, don't tempt me with that.
Don't even say that.
I thought for a while, because I know some people have said that Berthnall's in Secret
Taylor and I
Wars.
might die at that moment.
I always thought when the rumors that he was in Secret Wars, I'm like, yeah, I think he's Cosmic Ghost Rider. I really do. Because I was like, what's the Punisher gonna do in Secret Wars? Like, I know, like, I love Frank Castle, but at this point, even those clips of Spider-Man, like, I have to see the movie. But when I saw that clip of him being scared of the Hulk, I was like, oh no, I don't know. It's really gonna test when he said, like, I gotta make sure Frank Castle stays the same 1-to-1 and everything like that. I really gotta see the end of this movie, how people are gonna react to those comments, because I feel like that clip of him going, oh, I just like, we'll see. And it's like, okay, Punisher on Battle World, what are we gonna do? I don't know, but Cosmic Ghost Rider, there we go. So
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, despite Taylor's admiration for that character, I think just regular Ghost Rider at that point is where people they're like, Cosmic Ghost Rider. What happened? What they're gonna get that? Why'd we skip a few beats?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they might already get that with Loki, right? People, if they didn't watch that show, they're gonna go from Loki being dead to what's this dude doing sitting in a chair? You know?
and to Loki being very much less antagonistic, more on the side of the angels. Like really, at the end of that, he is no longer an antagonist. He's on the side of the angels.
I think they could easily just give a very brief thing like, "Hey, I'm the Loki who got away in Endgame," you know, because they did. They,
He says that.
then well, yeah, that's,
Or even
that's exactly
Deadpool.
line for
Deadpool looks
line.
at the screen. You remember the one that got away in Endgame?
Yeah.
That's him. And they just.
I'm
yeah.
telling you right now, we've been begging for it in Endgame. We didn't get it. We need Luis to tell the story of the MCU at that moment. We need a Luis story.
God, yeah.
Come on.
I think Quantumania killed your chances, Chris.
I know it
Quantumania-
did, but
They're like gonna
he
wipe
wasn't
their
the
whole
problem
hands.
of that movie.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. But I feel like that for every saga, I wonder what's going to happen when we get to the Mutant Saga. Every saga now has that one movie where they're like, we're not really going to talk about that. That was Incredible Hulk for the first saga. Wasn't even a bad movie, but like, you know what? That's its own thing over there. Like, but they didn't, right? They didn't refer to it. There's no actors brought back. It was like, you did not even have to watch that movie to understand Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. Same thing with Quantumania. That just feels like a weird acid trip that Scott took one weekend, and
Well,
it's all good.
we can say that for the movie side. Then we have Secret Invasion for the streaming side.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Secret Invasion for sure is that. Yeah, and luckily, I think the first phase doesn't even have that, like a second one. I think people were thinking that could have been Dark World, but then Dark World's like a vital part in Endgame, so they even brought that in. We're like, no, Dark World, it's part of the family, you know. Like, if anything, the only thing they don't refer to, not because they're bad, but remember they used to do all those. What were they? What were the shorts in between? They had the one with Coulson at the gas station. They had the one with they like the scientists that steal.
The original one where we
One
found out
shots.
what.
One
yes.
shots. Yeah.
The Marvel one shots, Return of the King, and all those. Yeah.
Team Thor. We had that one that like fret people for what that Thor was gonna be. But anyway, so yes, apparently there's a motorcycle revving. We have heard this for a long time. Ryan Gosling has said, "Hey, my favorite Marvel character is Ghost Rider," which was always not that's a bad thing. It just was always a weird sense, always to see like, okay, and
What if
he's
Nick
talking
Cage
about it.
walks out though, holding Ryan Gosling's like arm around
Holding
the shoulder
him.
with Yeah, holding-
Well, again, that's you could do that sequence, and that's where I don't know, but that's where it comes down to. So they both spoke about this. The rumor today, and Daniel RPK, I put in the B tier. He put this out. Most of the time, when scoopers are putting out stuff a night before or the day before, it's happening, right? And that's where he put it out this morning. So clearly, somebody saw something. The rumor is he is in San Diego, and he put out that he's cast as Ghost Rider, right? But I don't know what that tells us. I don't think by any shot it's a special presentation or a solo movie. I don't think that's where you go with Ghost Rider right now. It's just a question of, is this a Doomsday Secret Wars casting, or is this the confirmation of the Midnight Suns movie? Which I would love. It's been 7 fucking years. It's been 7 years. Let's get Mahershala Ali back on stage, and they can make a joke and say, we're making Midnight Suns, and Mahershala Ali's going to be in this fucking movie. We got Oscar Isaac. He's back from Egypt. We got Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider. You're going to fucking love this movie.
We got Doctor Strange. We got
Benedict Cumberbatch. We got that. So that's what I would hope would happen. But yes, that seems to be the rumor that Ryan Gosling is there. There's a motorcycle revving in Hall H. That's gonna be a fucking
They're about
badass
to
moment.
light his skull on fire and be, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, he did fall. He did Fall Guy, so you know.
He did. He's ready for it. So
Is he
Taylor.
done filming Starfighter? I'm just thinking. Oh, it's
That
done?
wrapped a
Okay.
few months ago. I think they might
Oh,
do some
perfect.
reshoots
Then
and
he's
stuff. But
wide available.
and again, like, I promise you, there's gonna be tons of time that he won't be around for Ghost Rider. It's like Sean Gunn, right? Like he played Rocket Raccoon,
Now,
and Bradley
this
Cooper
is-
did the
now,
voice.
This is a question: who are we getting with him? Are we getting Johnny Blaze or are we getting Danny Ketch? Now, Danny Ketch was my Ghost Rider just when I grew up, and I don't have any. I loved Johnny Blaze, but Danny will always be my Ghost Rider.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the other one. We don't want to like race swap.
Well,
What's his name again?
Yeah, you definitely
Robert
don't
Reyes?
do that. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
We
Pulls out
got
the car.
we did get that in Agents of Shield, and it was
did.
he did great. He absolutely.
And they should bring him back. He's a great actor.
They should.
You know, I wouldn't mind Donnie because in the same way that Taylor was asked about Nick Cage, Danny, sorry, you could like have that together. Then you could still kick around the Nick Cage, Johnny Blaze, Secret Wars thing. I know there's variants, but still, if it doesn't have to be a variant and Nick Cage is still Johnny Blaze this universe, that'd be fun. I think there's something really weird, not like actually weird, but just full circle thing. The person that played Johnny Cage's or Nick Cage's love interest in that movie was Eva Mendes. If Ryan Gosling is cast as Johnny Blaze, that is his wife and the mother of his children. I'm saying if that happens, you need to bring her back too, but just like have her. But I think I would prefer him not prefer. I would like I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, but sure, don't do Johnny Blaze. Like show some more Ghost Riders around, right? So I'd say the second. If I had my druthers.
Yeah, I'm down for whichever one that they choose. I think there could be a cool moment where, especially if this is in Secret Wars, where you see him in full Ghost Rider Flaming Skull at first, and someone says Johnny, and he corrects him and says no, he's Danny, and then that's how we set up, and you just go for it from there. No other explanation. Just nope. You guys are used to this one, but I'm this one, and I'm the one going forward.
Yeah, and I know Ghost Rider has fans, but are people gonna be like really mad if he's not Johnny Blaze? Like I don't know.
People are mad at everything.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, genuine people, and I'm not talking about people grifting or just that they are mad for everything. You know, so
How are people reacting to not having Johnny Blaze in Agents of Shield and like the Robbie Reyes version?
well, no one was reacting because only about 10 people watched that show, Taylor. So that's the problem. No, I thought it was fine when it happened. I don't think there was like a big. I thought it was actually cool. Like when it got announced, it was like, okay, cool, another Ghost Rider. You know?
Yeah, and I mean, they got to use him because Disney canceled that show right on Hulu. We're supposed to get so
Right. I forgot they were
There
making
has
a
to be
show
a
with Robbie
reason.
Reyes. Well, that's what they said, right? But we talked about it last night with the Snyder Cut, right? They told Zack Snyder there's a reason he couldn't use Jon Stewart, and here we are 5 to 6 years later.
Yeah,
finally,
that's
that
true.
reason's popped up. They're like, "See, we told you why you couldn't use him." So, Kevin Day says people will not see no Midnight Sun. Stop y'all. They'll see that Midnight Suns I just pitched. Mahershala Ali has played. Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider. Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight. You got to build up. I don't think you're wrong, Kevin. I was like, I think it is a somewhat risky property, but I think if you set it up, there is a way you can get a successful run with it.
We mentioned this on Marvel Alliance. Like Midnight Suns would be a perfect October Halloween style run. You could
100%.
a couple of episodes instead of just having its own movie or its own special presentation. Spread out a little bit. Give it 4 episodes over October, and boom, there you go. That's your gap filler right there.
But if you got Ali, Gosling, and Oscar, then that's got to go theatrical, right? You got to put that in the theater there. So, Travis Hines, DC Lions host, says, let's blame the Hulk on Universal. That was a solid first film besides Norton odd running style. Yeah, I'm a big defender. I love the Incredible
I am
Hulk.
Too.
Yeah. I was never on that bandwagon as far as like, and I feel like it's been reappreciated, which is nice. But I remember it always was looked at as like, oh, the weakest of the first like phase, even with Iron Man 2, because people loved Downey. It was like, oh, but Hulk. No, I loved Hulk. I wish we got Liv Tyler back. I did not love what happened with Abomination. I wish we got him on Thunderbolts in that team. But yeah, so now it hasn't started yet, but it seems like soon they've handed out capes and masks to the attendees. So we should be getting something there.
It was in our top 20 for
It was, yeah. Check out that episode for Marvel Alliance
300.
300. Yeah, so yeah, it seems like it'll be starting any minute now, and then we'll update you as we go. We'll be watching stuff. You can throw in questions, everything like that. It's I love these times. That's what I'll say before we get going. I love
What
doing this with
happens
you
when
guys.
the cavalry comes across the stage?
I would love it. I would love it. I do think
telling you,
now he was my
that would
fan.
be cool.
He was my fan cast. I think we've now reached the age where he's probably too old to do it. But no, these always work like I say, like election nights, folks, where we're getting news hot and heavy. We got to confirm it a couple times before we say it. If you see something, put it in the chat. If it's wrong, you're gonna get hit with two things. You're gonna get hit with this first if you're just lying to us. And then I'm gonna ban you. I'm gonna ban you, and I'm gonna block you. If you get it accidentally, that's fine. But if it's a troll, you'll get a timeout. I won't even ban you. I'll get you a timeout.
Yeah.
But no, I'm very excited. I love doing this, you guys. I love that we can do this. I love that even if it's every 2 years, we can get together and see what happens. And now it's like the calm before the storm. So I love that we can have some fun and hopefully it's a good next hour with some surprises and some reveals and
These Doctor Doom masks look like something straight out of Walmart.
100%. The one, the wrapped in plastic. Yeah, the plastic one I saw. Yeah. It's I could screen share while we're waiting because we got nothing else to show, right? So I'll screen share but it's still a cool little heirloom you get there, right? For showing up. I gotta close some tabs. I can feel my computer chug along, but there you go. There's the mask.
No.
Sure.
What's wrong, Taylor? You don't even want that mask?
No, that's I don't know about
It's
that.
free though. It's free though. It's a cape, right?
Yeah,
you
what
can't
do you
complain.
think they're gonna spare no expense and give like 500 people in there just the best quality? Come on.
How much are
Yeah.
tickets to get in? I'm sure they can afford quality masks.
Yeah. If they do Midnight Suns, Lilith would have to be the villain along with Lillian. Lillian?
Lillian?
Yeah.
Lillian? I don't know who. Why is that not? Lilith's like buzzing the mind, but who the heck's Lillian or Lillian?
Oh God, they're wearing them too.
There you go. I don't think you have to, but don't forget they did cast Mia Goth as Lilith for the Blade movie. So again,
Demons spawned by Lilith. That's Lillian.
okay.
It's a race.
So just like a son kid variant, okay. And again, Mia Goth would be a great actress to add as that lead there. So Vince Moore said, "I would love to see if someone sees X-23." Yeah, I think that's still Secret Wars stuff. Just because if we do pick it with Wolverine and Deadpool at some point, she was with them, right? Like when that
She's
movie
at the
ended.
dinner.
He's taken
That's
the
right.
stage.
Who has?
Herbie has taken
Oh,
the stage.
great. Herbie's here, folks.
There
Herbie's
we go.
here.
That's
so-
the one. That's the reveal. That's Feige said. I told you a surprise, right? I brought Herbie the robot on stage.
Yeah. So there you go. So it's gonna be interesting how this goes. It's gonna be interesting what they start with, end with, etc. So yeah,
Secret
we're off to
Invasion
races.
season 2.
Oh yeah. Sam Jackson walks out. We're gonna make it right.
That
We're
look
gonna
in
make
his eye, you know.
We promise. This was the event.
Maria
We filmed
Hill's
the whole-
actually alive.
We did a whole Avengers movie. We filmed it. No one knew about it. We're gonna put it out in between Doomsday and Secret Wars because you can't only have one movie a year. That.
Yeah. Jeez.
That's what's gonna happen next year, though. They're only gonna have Secret Wars, which really that's all they need.
As of right now, Taylor thinks there's a secret movie. No.
No.
Secret live-action movie.
Imagine if that's why they're announcing Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Gosling's Ghost Rider. They're just gonna shoot a movie on the volume like within 2 weeks and just throw it out there. A Ghost
It's
Rider
all in
movie.
hell, entirely in hell.
Yeah, he's just running
That would work.
around in hell. They're like, oh, imagine they just dick over Lucasfilm. They release it before Starfighter. They do it in like March to like beat them to the Project Hail Mary hype. They're like, oh, we're gonna put that movie out first. So
I mean, when you look at just a side tangent with Doomsday, obviously there's no Strange, well, the whole Clea
Not
thing.
yet.
We don't know how that's going with the Latvian witch robes and stuff,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. But like, it would be cool if that was kind of where they tie into Ghost Rider. If Doctor Strange's going with Clea, and then that's where Ghost Rider's in that plane. Because I feel like that was what they did
I've
with.
come to bargain for a soul.
There you go. Ultimate Alliance 3. Isn't that kind of what they did to introduce Ryder when you unlocked him, Travis?
they did. He was in the dark dimension.
That's right.
A portal opened up and his bike came flying in. So he absolutely fits in that realm, right? And that's where another thing I would say, because Chris brought it up, but I it's tough with what you do with Strange. But if you did want to give Midnight Sun some like actual chutzpah, yeah, you put Benedict Cumberbatch in there, and that gives you that's an A S tier Marvel character. I'll say high A tier. That helps a movie like that. So there is a way to make that happen. It's just like, do they want to, right? Like, do they look at that and go, oh, is it worth it trying to do just like a somewhat of a horror movie? Are people going to be into that? But at the same time, someone could argue and say, hey, horror is like the goddamn rage right now, right? Like, definitely go do that. Like, look at they'll say, look, Obsession, look, Backrooms. We could do that. What's Curry Barker doing? Let's get him to do Midnight Suns. But no, I think that's the thing where it's just like, there's ways to make it a hit. It's just a question of what do you do, right? So, and I agree. I really want Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto. I would love him to be back. So,
Yes.
man, that sucks for. I'm really excited for the Carrie show that Mike Flanagan's directing. They're having their panel right now, Comic-Con. That's bad timing, my brother. I'm sorry. I'll watch that trailer in a bit. But yeah, I'd love Mephisto back big time. I loved the little bit we got.
Yeah.
Was Werewolf by Night a part of Midnight Suns as well?
I think he could be.
He has.
Or a real man thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man thing, yeah.
Man thing definitely has.
Okay.
And then Elsa Bloodstone, but again, not like the biggest like actress I got for that, but still, why not? He could.
That's the fun part about like Midnight Suns. Like you can have a rotating group of people. It's never. It's one because it looks like the Avengers, but it's like I think Midnight Suns really has a rotating group of people a part of it.
It doesn't feel like a set. Like even with X-Men, everyone's always like, I feel like the two teams they're pitching are the OG cast or the '97 cast, right? Like there's tons of X-Men teams, but those
Same
are the
thing
two.
with
Like
the Avengers, you're gonna have a Captain America, you're gonna
Yes.
have an Iron Man. Like there are certain people like that's when you really surprise people when you have none of those people on the team.
But with Midnight Suns, I feel like you said you have lots of room to spread your wings back. We're gonna do whatever we kind of want here, So, but no, and yeah, I know he does play mind games with regular heroes, but I feel like for the GA, if he's like kind of a representation of the devil, maybe just keep him with the supernatural stuff for now. Like just to get that going, right? Because even just stuff like Moon Knight or Blade and Vamp, people always brought that up too. Like in the MCU they set up here, how do you have vampires? For some people that will be a thing that it hurts their head a bit to be like, right, like in Iron Man, I guess vampires around too. So I think you do have to find a way to naturally build to that. You can't just like throw it in there, right? So look at the build up from Iron Man to Endgame. And Iron Man feels like a pretty grounded movie, right? But then they slowly built to getting to a guy obsessed with powerful storms,
I kind of want to put this out there because I was watching some things and it got me thinking, that talking about, there's been no build up to Doom. There's been no build up to Doom. And started kind of doing math. And as I always joke around there, I was promised taking on this role that there would be no math with this.
It's in the contract.
There would like looking at Thanos and how many appearances of Thanos and how much time with Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot. We're looking at 3 or 4 appearances. We're looking at what maybe amount to less than almost 5 minutes of screen time before we get to Infinity War.
Like the Avengers end credits are really nothing, right? They're just he smiles and then he says, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
And
I think the only reason, which I'm definitely guilty of too, I think it's just because he was in those scenes, it just always felt like the looming threat, right? It was the impending doom.
And that's the argument to say, okay, I get it, but I think the real argument when people are saying build up, it's not because Doom hasn't been present; it's the disjointedness of what this has been. So if you want to talk about that, I'll hear you. But if you think, he wasn't there, it's like, really, Thanos really wasn't there either. But,
yeah,
goals, right? Because Thanos, they hint that the goals are getting the Infinity Stones little by little. And the main MCU is building towards that.
But that's
right?
what I'm saying. The disjointedness of the saga
Exactly.
itself has created that versus Doom versus Thanos being ever present there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's exactly it. Because I've seen that's been a big debate this week of like, Darth Vader didn't have any build up. I get that. My worry is with Doctor Doom is not that. My worry is the rest of the movie, building this movie, is it going to naturally flow, and just Downey playing him, not acting wise. It's just how do they do the if his mask comes off when we see his face, how they gonna roll with that, right? And I'm not saying it's gonna be bad. I would have preferred still in general, and I'll have to see the story if it was a newer actor, just because I even hate I can't remember. There's a rumor again recently for another person. It was just like, isn't there? Oh shit. Okay, Ryan Coogler's in attendance. Okay, so but isn't there there's so many actors, and I just don't want to always recycle the same ones, right? Like this, for how Brolin did to Thanos, this could have been someone that for Doom, right? So that's where I have to wait and see these movies. That's where I am more my issues with Doom. Not actually, I believe they can make him a believable threat, and I believe Downey can do a great job, but just other things around that, So, but again, we won't know until December 16th when those credits roll to see what it's like, right? We really won't know until we see it all. I feel like it's going to be Very diverse of movie. So, so yeah, it said Ryan Coogler was in attendance, but is he just like? Because I know they said some people are in chairs, like in the audience sitting. Is he there, or is he actually on stage right now?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything that says that he's on stage.
Yeah.
Just the Herbie opening.
Like I said, this is where it comes down. This is the news anchor.
Herbie came out to tell them that they weren't ready yet.
Oh, okay. So Herbie was just kicking off. Okay.
Yeah. Put the robot out there. The fans are going to be ravenous.
Yeah. They can tear him apart. Wamba says the multiverse circle story with Loki, the No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, Ant-Man 3. Well, it's there, but Ant-Man 3 is definitely gone now. Deadpool, Wolverine, Brave New World, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. There is like a makeshift one you could do, and that's where I did push back on some of the disjointedness because I never understood like around Loki time when people are like, I don't get it. What are we building towards? And it's like that whole season gave you a whole roadmap of like what's going on. The incursions, there's a great multiverse war going to happen. Now, obviously, the Kang thing happened, and then that was a big road bump where it was, we had to kind of zig and zag. But I think in Phase 4, which I'm a defender of, I actually love Phase 4. I think the issues start more in Phase 5. But with Phase 4, they were laying the groundwork for, hey, this is where we're going. But then, Kang happened and kind of a hiccup, right?
Well, especially, I'm with you. I really love Phase 4 because it's kind of like a longer version of what we had with Iron Man 3. What happens when you just dealt with, like, basically he died and dealt with that. So that's what Iron Man 3 is, for people who love it or hate it at that point. That's what that movie's about. We have a whole phase of post-traumatic stress of dealing with the after effects of loss. What do we do with this? How do we find a way to move on? I was fine with a phase like that and hope that 5 and 6 would have, okay, now we're heading on a path. That didn't happen.
And Phase 4, what I liked is it felt like I agree with you with Iron Man 3 and also echoed a little bit of Phase 1 where it was like, oh, here's just some new stories and eventually these are going to connect. But as we mentioned, with no Avengers or crossovers, it never connected. So, and Chris, we talked about, when I was still hosting Marvel Alliance, we never knew who the main characters of the saga was, right? We always knew Cap, Thor, and Tony. Those were the three. That was the Trinity. There's other ones, but like those who you could follow. We got Captain America, Falcon Winter Soldier, and then it took how many years to show? But again, we all say this again too. COVID and strikes happened at the same time. So it was a whole bunch of issues too that like delayed all this stuff. Technically, we could have had this Avengers maybe 2 years ago if COVID and the strikes didn't happen, right? So it's not all their fault. It's just
even look at the trailer for Doomsday at that point. Please tell me if you think it's not Thor being the leader of this team, then I don't know what trailer you watched, but that's,
100%.
It's Thor leading this group.
100%. He is the guy right now. Where it's like gonna bring everyone together. So Espa says that's why he got the redesign, and Doomsday fans tore apart the original Herbie for the 15-minute delay. And Superman Mike says Guardians of the Galaxy did a lot of heavy lifting setting up Infinity War. Absolutely.
Yeah,
right?
I mean they set up the idea for the stones and things like that, but I'm just saying it brings up the point. Like the saga itself was more put together. This one, I think they had one idea, and I'm not putting it all on. Oh, they set it up with Jonathan. No, they had a few ideas, and I don't think it was just too many. You want to call it Bob Chapek with pushing out too much content. You want to put out the idea of building a streaming platform around COVID, this, that, and the other. Like too many cooks back there. And if it ends up being okay, Phase 4, 5, and 6 wasn't the greatest. We landed the plane. It was great. Now we're gonna take our lessons learned and fix the next couple of phases.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like because I'm not definitely like what you said. I'm not just gonna sit there and be like, you know what, Feige and the team, they did nothing wrong. Is everybody? No, I'm sure they made some calls that didn't go down. Like even we had heard stuff about like that final fight in Secret Invasion had a lot of Feige blueprints over, right? So it's like I guarantee you, there's things that after Endgame they were so high on their own supply. It's like we can do nothing wrong here, and I think they did get a little.
Let's get some green light Ironheart. Let's green light. But again, I'm glad as a fan. I'm glad those characters got a chance for a moment.
Yeah.
However, the way they did it, and we talked about this, like, well, it looks to be all your minority candidates seem to be dropping all at once, and you seem to be looking like you're burying them. Like, be proud of it. Now, were those the best ones to get projects at that point? It could have been done differently. Yeah. I'm one of those people that saying, I'm glad we got Ironheart. I'm glad we got Echo. I just wish it was done differently in the sense of giving them
Yeah.
their flowers and due, because it just feels like they're going to be the afterthoughts when those characters don't deserve that.
Exactly, right? And then
Agreed.
it's great that you had them because at some point someone's going to see them and end up enjoying those characters. But then it's like, okay, will we ever see them again, right? And that's where sometimes the stink can happen where you do the project and then you have to wait a long time before we can adapt it again because, people aren't really into this, right? Like that even happens with big characters. Look at Batman and Robin. Batman had a stink for years and they had to wait till those nipples wore off and then got Nolan to come in, right? But like sometimes that happens. So
Well,
you know.
and you're the one who said it too. With like, and people, I knew what you were getting at, but it got proven with Sony's damaging the Marvel brand.
100%, yeah.
You know?
And even in general too, you look at DC, just the superhero brand. Look at those last movies that Gunn had to put out with the Blue Beetle, Flash, Shazam, Aquaman. Now, none of those are like great movies, but a few years ago, even quality movies like that would be making half a bill, and then they were flopping. I think it was with Sony and in general just comic book stuff that I think a bunch of studios, like those three studios in particular, like, well, we could put out a lot of this stuff and it's going to be a big hit. Even Sony, they put out Venom, made like 800 million. DC had Aquaman, biggest DC movie all time, made $1 billion. So I think all studios were like, let's start making our money now. And then it was a lot too much of superhero stuff. That one year, I think it was 2023 or 22, where we had like 12 projects, like 12 like movies, where it was 4 from the MCU, 2 from Sony, and then 3 from DC. It was, and then the TV shows. It was a lot, So I see Feige and Downey's there. Nothing yet. They're
just sitting on stage chilling.
Yeah.
Who's got questions?
Yeah. Perhaps their biggest problem post-Endgame, not giving us more Yelena and Kate after Hawkeye. And I obviously you're saying that in jest. I'm not disagreeing with you, but that's another issue that we just talked about with Thor or with Sam Wilson. You would introduce these characters, but then you wouldn't see them again. So if you had people like, oh, I would want to see more of Kate and Yelena, we still have it, and are we going to? I don't know. Where that was the thing of, even in Avengers, you got that movie, and then even though it's Loki, in next Thor movie, you had Captain America in that movie, played by Steve Rogers, right? It always felt like these characters were kind of, or like Mark Ruffalo was Iron Man 3, right? He was in that therapist for one little joke scene, but whatever. It felt like they were in the same universe, but these characters would constantly bump into each other and then disappear for 2 to 3 years and not see one another, right?
Yeah.
So I agree. I would have loved
starting.
to,
Finally starting. All right.
It looks like it's starting.
Looks like it's starting.
But again, I would have loved. I keep pitching this with Punisher. Get some good fucking action directors. Say, hey, we want you to make a movie where Yelena Bolvanov and Kate Bishop are. You say it. What?
No, I was just going to add to you. Blah, 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 blah.
But
it's Denzel.
Oh, it's not Denzel.
It's not Denzel. This is coming because he talked about, I can't remember which show it was. I think it was actually Jimmy Kimmel. He talked about how his mother gave him his name and everything. Like, it's Denzel.
Denzel. I have been saying it wrong my whole life. Then I joked, but you're
Most
like, I
people
don't
have.
even say it.
Just like how people
Denzel.
get Giancarlo Esposito. They say
That one's a bit more tricky though. I will.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's tricky. But yeah,
or Marvel Alliance, I always defer to Chris and let him pronounce it because I am not going to be the one to mess it up.
and I don't make this up. I said I hear the interviews, and Giancarlo talked about it actually on a WTF episode with Mark Maron.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, what I was saying is I wish they would take more risks and say we're going to make a $40 to $60 million action movie, just those two go. Because then if it doesn't perform too well, it's okay, a smaller budget. I would love them to do that with Frank Castle. I would love them to take the spirit of that original Deadpool movie that was only $60 million and go, hey, that to me is a perfect one where it's like the years where you have a big crossover event like this, then like early in the year, something small in March, February. Like make it a smaller budget. If it's a good enough story, people will come out. So... Wamba says, when fanboys kept complaining about the MCU is now the MCU and really annoyed me and that saying it's woke. You know what I'd say, Wamba, is don't be worried about that. Don't be annoyed by that. You know why? Because it's such a small minority. If anything proved that more than anything is the fucking Odyssey. For weeks and months, we heard about, oh, you can't cast a trans actor. You can't cast a woman of color to play Hannah Troy. That movie is now projected to make $1 billion. And Mike asked me this a couple weeks ago and Travis told you, and I had the same sentiment where it has a small percentage percentage of a few group of people that, yeah, I'm not going to do this. But most of the time, movies like Supergirl or the Marvels, when they bomb, it's not because there's a bunch of people being like, these women are up to no good. It's like they just don't want to see the movie, or it's not a great movie, or for whatever reason they don't have any interest in it, right? It has nothing to do with these people that are doing. Oh my!
Here you guys go. Get your own mask.
Doomsday mask, $283. $283. My
You know what?
goodness.
I wondered earlier, like how soon that was going to get posted. Now it is.
But that's why I just say Wamba is those people pay no attention to them because they actually make really no difference. Just scroll them. They're just looking for something to do, you know? So Vince Moore says, I hope we get some news on Miss Marvel, America Chavez, Kate, and the rest of Young Heroes. Vincent, if that's what you're looking for, I don't know if you're getting that today, buddy. I wish you the best. The only one I'd see is like maybe Kamala. Maybe hear something like she's joined Doomsday. Like maybe Kate, but Chavez, I don't know. They set up a lot of those Young Heroes in Phase 4 and 5, and I think Disney Plus might be their future. You know.
All right. Looks like the Comic-Con director Eddie Ibrahim is on stage introducing the Marvel panel now.
Yeah, they got a sizzle reel playing
reel.
out too. So okay, so we'll see what happens there. Goldface saying, stop my stat viewing for this. Surprise me, Fight. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go watch Vampire. Well, you can watch this first, but Vampire, go watch that. You know, Chris watching it. Kyle's watching it. Yeah. It's good.
I'm
Season
still-
4.
I've got 10 more minutes in season finale of 1. So
Yeah. Taylor keeps telling me he's gonna watch it. Hasn't watched it.
All right. What's Feige's on stage? What's the hat?
Oh yeah.
It looks like Doctor Doom.
Miss Marvel season 2. Interesting.
You scared me. Not scared me, but I was surprised. I was like, really? Well, they did take a risk with Daredevil bringing in season 2 and Punisher One Last Kill along with Deadpool and Wolverine. I can't say Deadpool Wolverine was a risk just because Deadpool is a proven property. They didn't take that risk. Fox did, right? If anything, like they let Fox take the risk. Like, oh, we can do that. That's that. I'll agree with Deadpool and Punisher. They definitely got more mature. I think Borean season 1 was more way more risky with the cop storyline because I think they're way more into that. I think they kind of went back on, but yeah, they definitely have taken some risks. Don't get me like it's not they're not playing it completely safe. That's what gives me hope for the MCU because the MCU the X-Men, I really need them not to play that safe when we get there. You know,
But the thing is, in this, it was never going to be the Netflix show. Never was the intent. Never was going to try to be. They were going to capture what people enjoyed about it, but it was never going to measure up. That was, if they ever tried to do that, that was going to be a losing battle. It was never going to happen. This trying to capture and that's why they brought the characters back. They heard the issues and they bring them back. And you know, I definitely think season 2 is a big step up over season 1. Yeah. And I'm so excited to see Devil in Cell Block D in live action, especially with the pin that we saw. Oh, please!
Yes.
Oh my God! If that's real, that's exciting.
Hey, David, someone's gonna be throwing some hands.
Let's see. Kevin Feige is on stage. He indicates that no announcements for Vision Quest or other Marvel TV shows are coming. Movies only.
Okay, that means
he really
D23.
said no.
That's
Okay,
D23 then.
I'm surprised he just said no and not just like we're just talking about movies today. So okay, so
Yeah.
nothing for Vision, which I wasn't like if you were to Pete bet me, no, I wouldn't be doing that right now. Apparently they're playing the Endgame Encore trailer right now, so they're gonna get that some sense way. So yeah, no Marvel TV shows, so we'll probably be talking about that in less than a month there. So there you go for
which is
the
fine.
Marvel show.
We've said that D23 seems to be a good place to kind of put streaming, and that doesn't put it any less stage. It's just like, okay, this is the biggest stage. D23 is not the biggest stage.
Exactly, right? So, and yeah, we'll get Vision Quest, probably get... I wonder, though, what they classify special presentation as, though. Do they count that as TV?
Yes, they will. If you're not putting it in a theater, exclusively on theaters, then that's...
Okay. So, yeah, probably no presentation.
I wish they would
but...
stop saying that stuff. I really am tired of saying exclusively in theaters. Stop.
Oh, I know.
Stop.
I guess it's just because once COVID happened, that's become a phrase that they have to say now. But yeah, it's like I'll know.
They're
That's
not
on my ticket thing.
going through that Black Widow stuff again.
Yeah. No.
For what Disney did twice, Warner Brothers did a whole year. You know, come on.
Yeah. So yeah, they're doing the Encore trailer now. So we'll see if that happens.
There you
So
go,
what do you-
big reveal. Jonathan Majors walked
Jonathan
on
Majors
stage
back.
in his Kang
Wow.
costume.
In his Kang costume. They didn't even bring him on. He just ran in from the crowd. Hey. But yeah, so we got Avengers
So-
Encore coming
Well, here's
in
the thing:
September.
for as much as secured as they have, they're letting the fans take pictures and do all the things. So
Yeah. We'll have to see what happens when we get other stuff. I bet the Encore trailer we can actually get online tonight. I bet that if there's any, I think the Doomsday they'll show more Doomsday trailer footage. We won't get that online, but I bet the Encore thing we will
Now-
later on.
now, how long is
Yeah.
Endgame going to be in theaters? Is it just that weekend?
I don't know if they've specified yet. That's a good
Because it
point.
says September 25th, but I haven't seen like get
Yeah.
tickets now. It's only like this weekend, or is it 2 weeks?
I bet they could run that for at least 2. I bet
So far, the Encore trailer includes footage of the crowd reacting to the portal scene, and it also includes shots of Steve's stone return journey and Tony's line of "You mess with time, it tends to mess back."
And you know what? Shout out to myself back in 2019.
Shut up, myself.
We did a cast that week and I pitched. That's why I thought Kang was going to be the villain, like of the saga, which I was right by that. But that line to me always did stuck out of "You mess with time, it tends to mess back." I'm like, that's in there for a reason. But that
Oh, yeah.
shot of Steve's stone return journey, that's that again, I'm already seeing it because I want to take at least Gwen to see Avengers before we get to the other one. But where's my guy right there?
Chills.
I am one of those suckers that I've always been interested. Again, though, they better. I guess I don't know. How does he return the one to Vormir?
But that's the thing. But even before Tony says that, when Tony says that warning, it's reinforced with the Ancient One.
Yeah.
You cannot just go back to the way things. Shoot, you've changed things forever.
Yeah.
Branching timelines.
To answer your question about the Vormir one, I think he just sees
Oh.
Red Skull and it's just like, here you go, bud.
Here we go. Feige throws to Josh Horowitz in the crowd asking about Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider. This is paying off because he has asked both Gosling this and Feige this, so they're about to pay it off right fucking now. Ryan Gosling is about to fucking come on.
Come on,
Ryan
let him be
Gosling
on flames.
It's confirmed. Ryan Gosling is confirmed as Ghost Rider.
Set him
Oh
on
my
fire
God.
and roll him out.
Okay, let's get on stage. Wow, that is, and you know what, Taylor? I'm sorry, but first point of the 2026
Should delay the
Comic-Con
draft one more week.
Hell yeah, is myself. I've had him on that
job.
for a while, and I
Yep.
even thought about dropping him. I even talked about the cast. I was
You
like,
did, yeah.
but I was like, I'm gonna wait till Secret Wars. Let's see.
Sometimes waiting pays off, but yeah, no. I mean, we've been saying it for a while now. What?
It's a
What?
movie. It's a movie
No.
directed by Sean Levy. Oh, they scooped up the
Wow.
Starfighter. Here, I'll get the logo right here. There's a logo and everything. Look at this.
Holy! Let's
Oh
do it.
my
Yes.
Goosebumps,
God.
man.
Yes.
Oh.
2028. So we now have X-Men and Ghost Rider coming out in 2028.
And this is why I said, hey, I was right in 2019. Just about 19 minutes ago, I said, they ain't doing a Ghost Rider movie. They're not doing that. That's because I thought no way they would take a risk on
Well,
that. Like,
no, I mean, but again, if you're gonna put a star power like Ryan Gosling behind it, Ryan Gosling's not just gonna come out for a cameo.
No.
So that's awesome.
that's very cool. Wow.
They better not blade me with this. Oh, man.
And Sean Levy, obviously, he's coming off Starfighter. He's already did Deadpool and Wolverine for them, so that's a big thing. So I imagine that means, because we know Deadpool 4 is coming, it could happen, but I feel like I wonder if Ryan's going to go get someone else for that. But yeah, that makes sense. Obviously, they work together well. Hopefully that means good things for Starfighter, but that's big. A Ghost Rider movie starring Ryan Gosling. My goodness. I would not have had my bet. I would have thought, okay, Doomsday, okay, Secret Wars, Midnight Suns, but I would have never thought just a Ghost
Good for
Rider
them.
movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's do it.
That is crazy. There he is on stage. I didn't hear this. I don't know what people talk about the motorcycle. Maybe the motorcycle didn't work. There could be a chance. That happened to Undertaker all the time in wrestling events where we're gonna do the motorcycle entrance, and then it would just stall halfway through. It's like, okay, you're walking the ramp now, buddy. But wow, okay, Ryan Gosling is Ghost Rider. And obviously at the end of this panel, we'll do a quick breakdown of everything, and we got our thoughts and for the podcast feeds, of course. But wow, that's crazy. Taylor, I'll wait. Yeah, hold those thoughts. We'll hit
I'm
you
just
with more.
happy. I'm just
Yeah,
happy.
I'm gonna hit you more in depth one after the fact. But
But
Wow.
I haven't seen if they say who is he, which one is he.
Yeah, I don't think that's. I got a couple notifications. I'm looking to see.
Yeah.
Um,
Kevin Feige's seen Star Wars Starfighter, and it's amazing. This is what I don't care for statements like this. It's like, who's gonna? Yeah, it looks like crud to me. But then stop saying stuff like that. I mean,
coming 2028. So, like you said, Chris. So yeah, I get that's what you're referring to, right? When you're talking about that, and go. What a start to the next saga is X-Men. It's rumored, right? That's a rumored date right now. So obviously, don't put me down for that. But like. Rumored date for X-Men is 2028, which I think we all believe after Secret Wars, and then Ghost Rider. Which, Ghost Rider could be the smaller one to open up in between, right? Like, that could be like,
that's the one. Yeah, X-Men's going to be your big one, so it's either going to be a summer or December release. So
100%, yeah. It was confirmed. It's been confirmed. Well, yeah, we're looking to see if it's Johnny Blaze. We haven't seen anything. Yeah, we haven't seen anything as Danny or Johnny. Does Ghost Rider?
If I were to lean, I could see him being Johnny more than Danny.
Yeah. Does Ghost Rider end up in Secret Wars, or do they hold off to the movie? I guess I'm either.
Yes.
I'm of two minds.
I'm gonna say this because Marvel likes to do this. They did it with Panther and Spider-Man, and then they get standalone films after the fact, right? It's just kind of their MO.
Yeah, and it makes sense. That's a big stage for him, right? So then you set him up there. Because I was gonna say, oh, do they want to do the origin, this and that? They can do that later, or they can just jump. They can do a Batman, Matt Reeves. He's Ghost Rider, and this is what we're doing now. So
and especially just with the character. I mean, this is where we get Mephisto, because Mephisto is directly tied into Ghost Rider's origins. This is where you bring back Sacha Cohen for this. So that's how you get him back involved in this.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
No, that's it. You really, that is a key part of the character. That is not someone that you can just ignore and not have Mephisto not in it. He's going to be in this movie.
There you go. That's smart. John Berthnall's on stage next week to remind Kevin Feige that he's whatever. Spider-Man's coming on. You know what the fuck I'm saying. He's just there to be like, hey, look at this, So, oh, sorry, you're seeing AEW updates. I'm trying to get.
That's tomorrow.
Just on the build of Ryan Gosling, the build, he is a Johnny Blaze build more than a Danny Ketch build.
Okay.
And again, the fact that, and coming from a physical media person with Omnis and things like that, there has been Danny's run's almost been complete, but everyone's been wondering where is Johnny's collected editions outside of a Masterworks, and so they're done. They have officially completed his run in Masterworks. So I think we were waiting for something like this to. They say there's no synergy. Kevin Feige's in charge. That's
a fucking lie. That like they put on Age of Ultron comic a couple years before Age of Ultron. It had nothing to do with the movie, but they're all the time doing that stuff. They were doing that in 2015, even though like he didn't have like full control of the comics. They still were like trying to do that, right? So I'm with you.
I say he's Johnny, and I'm fine with that. Absolutely fine.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, I did not think we were getting.
But here's such a cool thing with the character, like the history of the Ghost Riders through history. Like you can go really like cast lots of different people in either anthologies, things like that, or bring in different people as from the past. Ghost Rider, like it is so.
They could do that with this easily, right?
They did it anyways with the Nick Cage one with
Sam Elliott, right?
Sam Elliott,
yeah. What's he say, Taylor? What was the line? There's one line there. Was it one last ride or what the hell?
Yeah, that's when he says, "I got one last ride left in." I can't do a Sam Elliott.
And then he becomes the cowboy.
Like,
one.
Let's ride.
Come on. You Taylor and I represent the younger version of the Paramount Taylor Sheridan universe here.
You guys are.
Yes.
Okay, so while we're waiting for stuff, I can bring up. There is a video of the reveal for Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider. Sorry, it's one of these things.
Actually, light him on fire. Is that what you're saying?
No bike didn't work, but we got that going.
That's why I said set him on fire and push him in.
So here we go. Here was this. Just 25 seconds, but.
Because stop doing that.
That's a rock and roll music.
It's a great logo.
It's cool. It's fucking Ryan Gosling playing Ghost Rider, man. Like this was good. Like, it's just crazy. Again, I would have always bought Secret Wars. I would have brought Secret Wars. I would have bought but him to get a whole movie, I would have never pizza bet or I would have pizza bet everybody in that. No, he's not gonna do a whole movie. Again, it's Ghost Rider. He doesn't have to be there all the time, but still,
that's got to be like Project Hail Mary success, and then put him in Star Wars. They just see that and they think, okay, give him a movie.
Yeah, looks like John Bernthal's playing exclusive footage of the Spider-Man Hulk fight.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I can wait a couple of days to see that.
Yeah, I won't pull that one up. Don't worry, people.
Going back to what you said, Travis, saying like doing movies are risk. I think because of, as I just said, like the mythology of the character that is like years, eternity spanning. I mean, heck, there was a Ghost Rider back when they did this series, like Avengers 1000 BC. There was a whole character back. And so to the fact of, what's being said in the chat with Vengeance, Mephisto, if they are trying to bring in a, Midnight Suns, trying to do this different, like that's what I was hoping when Feige had talked about early in interviews early on as we were heading to phases 4, 5, and 6. So there's going to be a space part of the MCU. There's going to be a street level. There's going to be these certain things. Can we try to do that a little bit better this time? Like, I like that idea that you literally could do what we were making fun of James Gunn. It's like, you don't have to watch everything. You can pick a certain sector of the MCU that really is your jam and go with it and be fine.
And Ghost Rider, especially to me, that screams like you should make that just about like that should be not a one-off, of course, have an end credit tie-in, of course, right? But I'm saying as far as you can make that anybody can watch that movie if they just like a superhero, horror, or Gosling. Like, yes, it doesn't have to be a see X, Y, and Z. And sure, that could even be a setup for Midnight Suns in the future, right? Someone put that in the comments like, you could start that as a billion point the same way as Iron Man. Iron Man really has nothing to do with the grander MCU, but it was the springboard, right? You could do that. So it just, I guess for me, it just surprised me because it is like a huge CGI character. I don't know what it's going to be budgetary wise. I feel like it still could be bigger, but you never know. And maybe they're just feeling themselves again, right? So if we have Ghost right now, we need Blade to finally happen. Or this is the classic one soul for another there. Johnny, this is you. Last week when Foggy said, "Oh, I feel like such a failure about Ali." This is him literally saying we gave up Ali to get Gosling. So. Plus Ghost Rider's Pawn Before the War of Mephisto and his Blackheart. Yeah, tons of stuff to do there. We got some updates here. We got the Russos there on stage talking about...
they're doing a movie called Avengers Doomsday. Good for them.
Yeah. The cast of Doomsday is revealed on surprise stages in the back of Hall H. I don't know what that means, so we're going to find what that means in a second here. But there you go. So, yeah. And so what? And I don't even know when this thing started now because it started late, so I don't have like official time. So let's see here.
The cast of Doomsday are now on stage, so you've got. All right.
I got a screen share coming up for us too. So
looks like we got Pedro, we got Simu Liu, we've got Mr. Anthony Mackie, we've got Paul Rudd.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. So I guess that's hurting my eyes. I thought the X-Men people were gonna be the X-Men people, but then I see David Harbour standing right there, so he's he's not an X-Men. He's not there.
Wait a minute.
So
Whoa.
yeah, so who knows what's going on there? But good for James Marsden. Get to get his flowers there, and that's Rebecca Romaine right beside him, I think.
Yeah.
So
we got 3 X-Men. We got Kelsey Grammer, Rebecca Romaine, and Marsden. That's it from.
Yeah, it's like a nonchalant, like Ryan Gosling saying, "Oh yeah, I'm." He's just adorable.
Oh yeah, no, that's.
But
great.
then he's playing like the spirit of vengeance.
And this is one thing, like, and I do not want to get into this debate, right? Because like what Chris said, like, but I know I know social media is social media is blowing up right now with the news Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider. There's been a sentiment with the DCU of like they're just like, why won't they lack of big stars, right? I'm not saying you have to do that. I think it is still good to make stars, yada yada yada. But that is something that happens when you go out and get a star of Ryan Gosling's caliber right away. That news does spread. Now again, it's not foolproof. We talked about this. I always make an example. After Barbie, biggest movie of his career. Fall Guy comes out and eats it. It's not a guarantee. There's, especially the box office since COVID, nothing is guaranteed. But if you want to make a Ghost Rider movie, that is one where you do need a Gosling. If you would have said, "Oh, it's some indie," if like Clayface, you can do the new guy. If it's Ghost Rider, I go, no, like you need somebody to hold that down, right?
Well, we've talked about this a few times, the vodka stream, when you're on and sometimes when you're not, that to the point of like, how is Marvel getting these stars when DC is still not? It's that despite Marvel being down, stars will line up for them because despite it being quote unquote down, which it is,
Yes.
they still trust what they're about to do. Warner Brothers to DC Studios, not to James Gunn's. It's not his fault, but like Warner Brothers is like, God knows what's happening over there.
Yeah, we never know, right?
So there's not a lot of trust there, even though they like James Gunn, they like what they're trying to do, but there's just like, are you going to be around in the sense of like, where is the, you set out this idea of here's the plan. All we've seen is, Superman and Super Family and things like that. Now we're seeing Clayface. So the Clayface I hope is going to be, I'm a DC fan too, but I think that's where the problem is. Like there's the community, the Hollywood actors and actresses aren't necessarily giving them the benefit of the doubt yet. There's still more to prove.
Yeah, we got Robert Downey on stage saying it's not easy being green.
And then they've
So
officially
it looks like
confirmed-
there's 3 different stages of actors. There's the main stage, which has Robert Downey, looks like Chris Evans as well. Then there's the A stage and the X stage.
No. Downey's on the A stage. Let's be clear. He's the guy. He's the guy.
Wait a minute. How do those actors feel like that? Hey, look at us. No one's paying attention to you.
Yeah, you got 3 different stages, and everyone else is just kind of off in random directions, and then you've got Downey and Evans up front.
So they did confirm, which I don't think this were a big surprise, but we talked about this many times. Haley Atwell will return for Avengers Doomsday. So again, she did not have a chair, but I think we all kind of assumed Steve as a kid. We got to see her at some point.
He went slumming. He thought,
Yeah.
that kid ain't Haley. Sorry.
Yeah, she's back, so that makes sense. I think she'll play a vital role in that. As Mike says, I'm half expecting Tom Cruise MCU cast now. You never know, man. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think Secret Wars is a shot, but you never know. You never know. So.
We will not get the Iron Man Doomsday fight until Secret Wars. We're not. I think that's a Secret Wars thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I don't think tonight, but no, I can still see Tom Cruise. But Van McClay in the chat says, I say you can still make a cheaper Ghost Rider movie with something like a budget of Adam Project. Just looking at Sean's movies I've seen, yeah, he is good with that. The only problem is though, why I don't think it'll be a cheap budget is like, look at your star already though, right? Yeah, that's like right away.
But also Sean Levy's not one to just to go let budgets go crazy just because. I would trust him with the budget.
And even then too, like talking about that, Sean Levy can't be cheap now either, right? After Real Guy, Deadpool, Wolverine, was it Real
Good
Guy?
for him though. Good. Yeah, he was Free Guy. Yeah, I mean, good for him.
Free Guy.
Yeah. Look at within less than 10 years what he's been able to do, and look where he's now standing now. A Star Wars movie that we hope is good, that we hope and have a little more faith that it is, and now gets to introduce I don't know if I want to put Ghost Rider as an A tier character. Even though my love for the character, I'd say it's a very high B plus
I agree.
character.
Yeah, I think the high B is like the right round. I think you could make it into an A. Like,
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
you and me could.
Look
like,
what they
we
did with
all-
Iron Man.
Iron Man was very much a. You could argue low B at times, right? Like, well, not even a high B, you know? So, like, I could have argued Captain America and Hulk were bigger. Like, if you looked at that summer, people forget Iron Man and Hulk were released so close to each other. Hulk should have done way better than Iron Man financially, right? Like, looking at those characters' IPs and stuff, but, you know, never know. So, yeah, and even then, you think about that, he did Deadpool Wolverine. Also, he was one of the main producers of Stranger Things. Whatever people want to think about how the show ended, one of the biggest shows ever. Right, and he was one of the people that was spearheading that with the Duffer Brothers. So he's become a runner. He can do the work. So
Looks like I think Ryan Gosling might have gotten around. It's not confirmed, but like 30 million for Project Hail Mary. But then usually in the past, like Barbie, 12.5, The Gray Man, 20 million. So he seems to be like that 10 to 20 kind of range.
I think he's definitely getting 20 for Ghost Rider.
For
at
Ghost
least,
Rider,
I'm gonna say
yeah.
at least, especially after Project Hail Mary, at least. Because what do you get for Project Hail Mary?
It's reports say upward or compensation around 30 million.
Oh no,
It's not
I would
officially
actually say
disclosed.
30. Then I would say they would. I
Could
think
ask
they'd match him
more,
for Project
couldn't
Hail
he, though?
Mary.
Just walk in there flexing his Project Hail Mary flick.
Maybe you never know. I guess it depends. Hopefully, Starfighter doesn't maul him or anything like that. So
Do you think that Starfighter bombs? You know, Starfighter, let's say, gets Mando numbers, the box
Yeah.
office. What happens? Do you think Disney starts to backtrack a bit on Ghost Rider?
I think to like Chris's point, they're not like Disney or DC or Lucasfilm, right? Patty Jenkins, she makes Wonder Woman. Everyone loves her. Let's give her a Star Wars movie. She makes Wonder Woman 2. Actually, we're good, Patty. We don't want that one. Look at the showrunners for Game of Thrones, right?
Snaps! Deadpool is here.
Really? Okay. So are we getting a fucking photo of him and Downey together? This is why I talk about people. These are the moments. Yep. But Taylor, to your point, I think they would
look
not
at that
draft.
stage. Look at how
He's
many people are
dressed
there.
as. Oh, I got to put this one up.
I don't think they would backtrack on Ghost Rider. I think they would stay put. If they backtrack, it's like with Blade where they just fuck up. It's not because of Starfighter bombing. It's just because they make the mistake. So
I hope we're at the stage right now where they have some sort of script or something of a plan for what that movie is.
I would hope so. Okay, so that's him in the costume, eh?
After what they
Yep, as
just
Grey
went through
Deadpool.
with Marshala, just not having a plan. They have
Absolutely. Because I was talking about Emily. If everyone forgets, Mahershala approached them. They didn't approach Mahershala,
Yeah.
and that was their biggest mistake. They should have had a script and everything in place first before they made that announcement. I think, again, because Endgame, they thought they're hot shit. Hey, we got 2-time Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali. Let's get it out there. Let's do this. They should have taken a moment and a beat. And, so Ryan Reynolds asked Paul Rudd, where is Thor and why is he crying? And Rudd asked if he's a Wrexham fan.
What
So
is
there you go.
Grey Deadpool? What does that have a
That's
specific?
when he was on X Factor, the Black Ops version of
Yeah.
that's gonna be X Force as his
X-Force.
when
Yeah.
X Force was a Black Ops team for.
Are we
the
sure this
X-Men.
is not just the Ash suit from Deadpool 2,
Oh,
though?
it could be too. Yeah, you're right.
Because I remember that happened in the trailer
Yeah.
for Deadpool where everyone thought that, but then when we saw it behind scenes, it was like, oh no, it's actually just that suit. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see what happens. But I'm saying you got to get that picture of him and Downey together. You gotta. That's one of your money shots right there. So I'm guessing they're probably going to confirm Ryan Reynolds in Doomsday, hey?
But
Or are they?
how about this? You question asked me earlier: is Doomsday going to be the $1 billion movie? Now I say Secret Wars is going to be the bigger movie than Doomsday.
I agree as long as Doomsday isn't a
Yes.
train wreck. Like if
Correct.
Doomsday is train wreck, then all bets are off.
Yeah.
So, Superman Mike says hopefully Levy brings Jonathan Trooper with him as writer since they did Starfighter together. Ghost Rider from Banshee Rider could be perfect. Yeah, that'd be great. So I agree with you. I hope that's the case. Alex, I'll definitely address some of this when I do my Lestat ranking next week. But yes,
Well,
I agree.
I mean, again, you got your Lestat fans in the chat. They just want to hear it now.
I do, yeah. Those videos did very well on YouTube, so I think the audience is very rabid. I thank them, and no, I agree. I hope that they get more episodes than 7, but you never know. Budgets are tough nowadays, right? And the problem with shows, more people get successful.
And it's AMC, right? I think, yeah, it's AMC.
It is AMC, yeah. Ryan Reynolds' bit suggests Deadpool won't be Avengers Doomsday, but more info may be coming soon. Strange. I don't believe him, by the way, about him not being in Doomsday.
I say end credits. I think we've said end credits for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
either way, he's somewhere in there. I was wondering if we're going to get Deadpool 4 announced because he's talking about that a lot this past year. He's in 3 separate interviews he just talked about it last week, Deadpool 4. So it's happening, so.
Yeah, I believe that he is working on it, but I could see that. I don't think we get a Deadpool 4 until 2029.
I agree. I don't think you do that before X-Men. I think you let X-Men have their stage and then he can play in that world. So Wamba says Secret War is going to be a $1 billion movie. Yeah, again, I'm in the camp that I think Spidey, Doomsday, and Secret Wars are $1 billion. I think Doomsday will clear $1 billion. If
Secret
Spider-Man,
Wars for sure. The way that they're building this up, I think.
yeah, I just think if Spider-Man is projected to maybe earn $700 million its first week, I think Doomsday can do that with these returning people. So Doomsday footage is coming. So we'll talk a little bit about that.
Even though Spider-Man is supposed to be, in more ways than one, it takes place in the timeline before Doomsday. If Spider-Man hits it good and it's just, the MCU's back, I think that builds the goodwill of saying, okay,
Absolutely.
I want to see. So to your point, I'll be fine if I get that one wrong in the sense of there's only $1 billion movie, but it has a lot. That's the thing. when I put that out there, it kind of sets Doomsday. I don't know if it'll make $1 billion within that short timeline. To call it for a year.
Oh,
That's a lot.
you're gonna play semantics. You're gonna play.
I'm just saying, like, if someone wants to call that, I'm not gonna. I don't want to play that game. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, it may still be in theaters by the time we actually review that stuff. So
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like if it's gonna make $1 billion.
Nice.
God damn.
Yeah,
that is beautiful.
that's a great poster right there. So suit's great.
God, so much AI in that. Look at that 5 fingers,
Right.
6 fingers.
Doomsday footage incoming.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
what they go.
They're gonna show something there that's gonna just be for them.
Yeah. So again, I see this. Ryan Gosling hints he won't be in there. Yeah, I'm not believing that. Pedro Pascal says Doom and Reed will have a history in Doomsday. You know what? That's great because, again, I'm wearing a GeekVerse Fantastic Four. I really liked the movie last year. I'm not an F4 guy, but I did always understand people's complaints of the connection of Reed and Doom, and if that's not a big deal in Doomsday, I would feel for those people. Like, yeah, I get that. That is kind of a low blow. So I think that them saying they have history now, I guess, would that imply that Doom is also from 828? This
But
Doom,
that's
right?
that based on when he gets into the Baxter building. I put out an idea of where we're going with this and what and why. Again, Steve getting off, Steve, whoever's getting off that Fantastic Four plane, they didn't just go hop in the multiverse. I put out there that Steve is on that world.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and that's where it's like, so Steve's there, and we remember in F4 when they had the UN meeting and they showed the Latveria chair that was empty. So I think that would be the smartest way to get that just moving is, hey, they're from the same universe. They can refer to history. People will be happy you have that.
And
what does that mean going forward? Does that mean Doom, like Downey's always Doom? I don't know. If this movie's successful, then I guess he could be. I don't know. That's a whole question for like 6 years from now. But
I'm glad they made the decision to not do Doom in the first movie and did Galactus. I think that was
I agree.
That was a smart move.
Yeah, so thank you. Now maybe people will finally shut up Reed and Doom Rivalry because they will finally see in Doomsday. That has been like, that is a thing that I see all the time is they better do, which I get it. I understand. I think we all have those, and I could see as an F4 fan that being vital to you. And it is. They have a big rivalry, a big, like lifelong competition and feud. So like I get that point. I completely understand that. It's like it's with me and Taylor disagreeing about. I hate that there's Jedis around Luke Skywalker. In the Clone Wars and Rebels, not for me. There should not be. Luke should be the only one.
How about this for Midnight Suns cast? Let's go. Ryan Gosling, John Bernthal, Oscar Isaac, Mahershala Ali, and Benedict Cumberbatch. That is a fire.
Yeah,
that would be an
that
amazing
is a fire
cast.
All right, so it is confirmed that this is Victor Von Doom from the descriptions of this trailer and how the Fantastic Four are referring to him as if they know him, including Sue.
I was like, of course it's Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
Sue saying that she knew that he was a lot, but didn't know how broken he was, and Doom saying that all of these people have lived stolen lives, and now they must give them back. And Reed grabs Victor's shirt and yells, "Answer me, Victor! Did you do this?"
Okay. Look, who grabs the shirt? Sue?
No, Reed grabs Victor's shirt and yells, "Answer me, Victor, did you do this?" Thor tries to bring down the axe on his head, but Doom flicks it aside with ease before yeeting Thor away with his green sorcery.
Okay.
He raises the Sentinels into frame.
Oh boy! So if people are happy about that, as far as Doom being related to the F4, sounds like already they're hitting you with that. But I see what your motion at, I think right now, Chris. Ryan Coogler's on stage, and we'll see what happens.
Again, just like I had said earlier, when the sense of Thanos not being there at that point, but the power and how scary Thanos got all put out within the first 10 minutes of that movie of Infinity War. Nobody doubted that man, and he barely had just one. And he had just gotten one stone.
So, how do you say it again, Chris? Denzel.
Denzel.
So I'm wondering, is he Big enough to be, because Feige said this is the one more thing. Is he big enough to be the last thing just by himself? Because he's a like legendary actor, or
Well,
is
it
this the whole
depends on
movie?
what role. It depends on the role.
T'Challa Jr. You know, really aged up.
I say really. I say he's
Black
he could be
Panther 3
T'Challa.
is official.
I say he's a black. He could be a multiversal Black Panther. He's a T'Challa.
He could be the villain. I just wonder, because it's going last, if it's, I think, title, date-ish, you know, like not the full thing, but
Just Black Panther 3?
officially announced.
Yeah.
Will return direct.
Electric
okay.
Boogaloo.
Yeah. Like, and again, I don't think they're going to show
December
who T'Challa
15th,
is.
2028. So there's our 3 films. We've got Ghost Rider, we've got X-Men,
Wow.
we're ending with Black Panther. So X-Men is our summer movie.
So Black Panther's getting that big December date, too.
As it
so.
should.
It should. Yeah, oh, absolutely. And this will be the, at least Coogler's crescendo,
Yeah.
right? This is going to be him going out. being done
on a
with it.
way that he hopefully gets to not have to pivot the script. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice looking logo.
Yep. So December. So again, and this is stuff you can announce because everyone knew there was going to be a Black Panther 3, right? So it's like
yeah.
because if you look at before, they never announced stuff for Phase 4 before Endgame happened, right? All that was a blank slate. It's going to wait till Endgame. That's why when we got the Comic-Con after Endgame, they showed a bunch of stuff, a whole slate, right? They can do this now because Black Panther 3, that's already going. You can put that there. Ghost Rider, as of right now, that's very off to the side. You know, maybe he'll be in Secret Wars, but you could, on its surface, look at this as a one-off by its own thing. So, again,
And
they're
this is gonna, and this is going to
Go
be
ahead.
interesting in the sense of like the debate of Shuri keeping the mantle, or are we going back to a male taking on the mantle? You know, that's going to be a very tricky thing for them to weave because there is a lot of back and forth on that.
Whoa, the new T'Challa, the MCU will be played by David Johnson. Whoa. Is it? Holy fuck, David Johnson?
Wow.
Whoa! Holy let's. Oh my
Wow.
god! Oh my god! That is incredible. Oh my god! If you don't know, he's the
That's
guy from
huge.
Alien Romulus.
Yep.
He's the guy from Long
Good for
Walk.
him.
He is the guy that people have said he feels like, and it's not just because he's black, like Denzel, Will Smith, he has that something about him,
Yep.
that charisma. Holy shit.
Wow.
I did not think they were going to announce that. Whoa. Holy moly.
Good. You know what? Bravo for him. He deserves those flowers because I was so impressed with him in Alien Romulus. That was.
He plays
that
like
was
3
a
roles in that thing.
Yeah.
Holy jeez.
So he is their new
Louise.
Black Panther. So is he T'Challa Jr.? Is he?
It just says the new T'Challa. I imagine it's going to be Junior. In my
Okay.
opinion, I think they're going to, like, they haven't said yet, but I feel like they're going to age him up after Secret Wars and they can do some magic mumbo jumbo sort of thing.
Yep, has
So-
been
Yeah,
cast
he-
as T'Challa's son. He's T'Challa's
Yeah.
son.
Yep. Which I get. Hey,
Yep.
I get it. Some people are going to be mad. That's always going to be a debate that people are going back and forth. I'm fine with
That
this
was-
iteration, you know, doing
That was a
Junior.
perfect way to keep what they said. Okay, there's T'Challa. It was, it was who he was,
Yeah.
and now this is a way to get have a T'Challa in there, and still respect everyone's wishes.
Yeah.
Because Chadwick, again, people always say sometimes like a part is not bigger than the actor. Well, Chadwick was a bigger than life actor, and
And even with him playing the son, big fucking shoes to fill.
Yep.
There is going to be, and I wish him the best because there's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of people.
protect that man. Protect that
Yeah,
man.
and hopefully he doesn't have social media here, and we'll get
Yep,
to
him and Letitia Wright are on stage together.
like
And there has
know.
been a time you can't have 2 Black Panthers. It's just I think that's what's going to happen. You're going to have 2 Black Panthers. You know what? I'm okay with that.
You think they are? So
I
so
think
what?
they are.
She's 32.
I
A
do
full
not-
on handing off of the mantle.
and he's older than her, I think. Oh, hang on, I might have the wrong David Johnson. Hang on. No, they're the exact same age. They're the exact same age, but they're playing auntie and nephew. And obviously, we met in Black Panther 2. He's a little kid. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be the same way as Infinity War Doomsday. They're going to, or Endgame. They're going to age him up somehow with multiverse magic. You know, that's what's going to happen.
They here's the thing. This is where we're tricky down because you have Shuri has the mantle. If you get this, can go they have to be very cautious. And I trust Ryan Coogler for how they're going to do this. If they're going to have a handoff of the mantle and David Johnson now gets the official mantle and Shuri goes back to being, what she does best in the sense of like how she was introduced as the smarter sister, like, the technology, everything like that. Maybe she doesn't feel like she wants to do this and she wants to go back to what she enjoys. Like, you just have to be very careful with that messaging and how that's done. And I trust Ryan Coogler to do that. Absolutely. But also comic precedent, there has been a time when both T'Challa and Shuri have been the Black Panther at the same time.
Okay. And that's where you could do that, right? You could do that. And that, I hope it's better written because always, again, my issue was she had that with being the queen of Wakanda, right? And then how did that happen? She just gave it out to Umaku and we moved on. I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think it'll be a larger story. And that's where, what Mikey said, it sucks for Shuri. They're, like Chris talked about, there's two routes here. And I think there is a route where you could have them just both do it. And that also could ease in the acceptance of David Johnson, right? As far as that. But as Bob says, kids time traveling back from the future, like Fire Emblem, John Kett, Kara Zor-El. Yeah, again, that's what comic books are for, right? And why I'm never going to hold this against them is because they were dealt a bad hand. This is not bad creative. This is not them being like, yeah, we want to kill off the main character in Black Panther 2 and then have him have a son. We're going to age him up. They were dealing with what they could do here. I think they do understand that people do want a T'Challa character. I do understand if people still go, oh, well, it's not a recast. I get that. It all comes down to your personal point of view, right? I'm never going to say you're wrong, but I think this is still a way to honor that character and also still honor Chadwick Boseman because it's like they can always refer to him. That's his father. That's the guy, the legacy of it, right? There's things you can do with that instead of just, hey, after Secret Wars, we're going to reboot, clean slate, and then here's T'Challa again, right? Which I personally prefer right now if we're in this universe because it's going to act as the same sort of not exact same character, but the same symbol in a sense, right? So
and so that's how they ended it.
I think so because he said there was one more thing, and we haven't seen anything else yet. So we'll have to see.
Who's directing?
December I was about to say I haven't seen anything other than David Johnson coming on and thanking people for their support.
Yeah. And
so, again, I'm okay if that's how Marvel should do it in the sense of you have a, late winter, early spring movie in Ghost Rider. You have the summer blockbuster in the sense of, in this case, X-Men, and then you have Black Panther 3. Three movies. That's how you break it up and keep in the conversation.
Oh my God! I gotta show you this photo here. Hang on, let me go to my notifications here.
Be careful.
No, this Winston Duke is fucking massive.
I've got that same tweet up right now.
Okay,
I was just looking at it.
Okay, I'm sorry. There's your Black Panther, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Like, who are you taking into a fight?
David Johnson, I love you, brother, but you gotta go hit the gym now. You gotta go put in some work. I didn't realize
he was that tall.
Hey, I also think that Winston Duke is like Duke. He's toned up a little because I feel like he was a bit like his arm. He was always a big dude, but his arms are like big.
I'm talking about height, man.
Yeah,
forget the muscles, the height.
It's like M'Baku standing next to the Thing in the Avengers trailer.
Yeah, he's towering. Maybe that's it. The Thing's not short. M'Baku's just fucking tall. Like, look at him. Like, yeah, he's like a foot over. Yeah, it's
as they said in Winter Soldier, specimen.
Exactly, right? And that's the thing again too with David Johnson is if you're gonna go, obviously it's always gonna be a controversial thing. Whatever, that's past it. What you have to do is like you did with Chadwick, you have to go after a great actor, and that's what they have with David Johnson. In a short amount of time, David Johnson has proved he has a good. It's very interesting because Taylor. I got bit though. I kept Damson interest because that was the rumor for a long time. The fucking Secret Wars concept art used Damson Interest's face as T'Challa. There's many other scoopers that had said, yeah, he's in talks. So clearly, whatever happened, maybe they didn't work out, money, or even then, like Dave Johnson came available. Now I'm pissed because I don't think Damson Idris is going to be cast in anything for the next year. So I got this anchor, but I thought he had it because so many people are just like, yeah, that's the guy. But for me, this was something we talked about. I feel like there's so many times I was like, oh, I wish it was David Johnson, but I think they already got that role. So they've gone for, okay, it's going to be a controversial decision, but David Johnson is a fantastic home run choice that can bring this home.
Look at this moment on stage that this actor that he in the last few years people saying, and then he just gets this moment like here, soak it up, just absolutely soak it up. That you've got this, and I think you have say what you want about fans. We get behind people that are taken care of like this, and man, I'm behind it. 100%.
Real fans, real people,
real
not
fans,
fucking people grifting, just trying to get money
not
and
your
everything like that.
cultists.
Yeah, exactly. So here's them revealing it here. So
I want to say
this
thank
guy.
you so much. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you to this amazing family that I have the honor and the privilege and the blessing.
That's all we got so far. Maybe there'll be more.
Welcome to the larger world.
Yeah, if we find a bit longer reveal, we'll play that before we're off there. But yeah, that gets me so excited. And not that I'm like you said, Chris, because of Ryan Coogler. I really enjoy Wakanda Forever. It's close to my top 10, so I didn't have issues like other people did. But this is just David Johnson. That gets me even more excited. And again, we talked about this many times. I always put out this note in Endgame. The first person to come out of Portal was Chadwick Boseman. Yep. He clearly, and that's what we talk about too with this saga, when they had they didn't decide who their main characters, they lost one of them, right? That clearly Chadwick was going to be a guy for a bit.
That first trailer of Wakanda Forever always gets me in tears.
Oh yeah. It had that anniversary a couple years ago, but to me now, David Johnson is one of those guys where, hey, if you got the X-Men, I'm not gonna say Ryan Gosling's Ghost Rider could be that, but maybe Ryan Gosling's Ghost Rider. But still, Dave Johnson. If you look at a new Trinity, he could be that. If it's like Sadie Sink is Jean, Dave Johnson's that, and somebody. Even if you got Thor's the Old Guard, like Dave Johnson can be one of those pillars for the next saga.
Not to again, we say what we want of award season at that point. Black Panther 3, mark my words, could be the film that gets a Best Picture nomination and gets a Best Picture win.
Wow. Jeez.
If they do it right, I think by all people, Ryan Coogler proving what he did, continues to prove what he did. He's the one who says we're not only going to get the first superhero Best Picture nomination, but a first Best Picture win, and that's because you have great cast, you have great people, and you have people that believe in it. And that is not what he's aiming to do. He's aiming to put it out there, but like, man, I'm telling you, of all films that have any potential, Black Panther 3 it will be an Academy Award-winning film potential right there.
Well, hey, and if it happens, it didn't get revealed today, but God, now you've mind warped me now. Denzel. If Denzel is in that helps with that type of stuff, right? Which again, this is why we talk about rumors all the time. People, he's in San Diego, he's there. He wasn't fucking here. He wasn't, this would have been a time to bring him out. I'm not saying he's not there, but that's why because there was a fan asked me like, oh, why haven't you given yourself a point yet for the draft? It's like, it's not over yet. Like he's got to be on this stage. It's not same thing like this. They used a different actor's face for the Black Panther concept art for the recast, and he ain't on the stage talking about being the new T'Challa right now. It's somebody else. So, you've been quiet. You loved Alien Ramos. What do you think about Dave Johnson as next Black Panther?
when you said the name, like I blanked on it. So I Googled it, and it's like NFL player. I'm like, a football guy.
Oh yeah, that's when you search Dave Johnson.
Texans running back.
He's
the
gonna
first
get all
guy
these
that comes
tweets
up.
saying, "Congratulations, man! I'm becoming part of the MCU." Says Ron David Johnson.
Yeah.
Mark, someone's doing that. Someone's doing that right now.
Yeah.
But no, this has me super. I just watched The Long Walk not too long ago, and yeah, he's fantastic there. And yeah, Alien Romulus, the guy is fantastic. And just that clip you just played of him just speaking briefly, like he seems so humble and just so honored to kind of have this opportunity.
Garfield level humble there,
Yeah.
It's just this is great. I think he's just gonna do wonders because I feel like that third one was definitely like in the wake and paying a homage to
The second one.
the second one. Yeah. So I feel like this.
And here's the rumor.
Well, yeah, Storm's in this movie for sure. I think the same way if if Jean Grey is
Rachel Summers,
yeah,
one of the Summers.
If Sadie Sink is Jean Grey, they've shown now that they want to do these backdoor things where let's get Storm in there first, and that makes sense. I think you could really do that. I got
That'd be hype.
I got a longer clip of him talking, so hang on, I'll bring that up here just
How
to
about
get that going.
we're probably someone does Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I could see them dropping Black Panther 3 and putting another title underneath it. It won't. I could also see very quickly it's no longer Black Panther 3.
Yeah, it could just be like something like Legacy, something like that, but something around that type of term. But here, I tried to pick up where we left off here, but
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you to this amazing family that I have the honor and the privilege and the blessing to join. I actually don't want to say too much because I want to let this screen do the talking.
that's nice.
I also don't want to say
Believe
too
me,
much because I've got a sniper on me.
the
His name's
honor is
Kevin.
entirely mine. Thank you.
We don't. I'm trying to find someone that has that yet. That reveal of that. But I guess that's why. Other than the Doomsday stuff, they didn't show too much footage and not even like a new trailer or anything. So I guess it makes sense why they dropped that trailer, right? But yeah, that's exciting. So let's see. Yeah, maybe some people stop talking about Storm and T'Challa. Yeah, it's happening now. Like X-Men's coming, T'Challa's happening. That's happening. He really is taller than the Thing. That's Batman right there. Yeah, he doesn't even again shape. Winston Duke has like Batman, but Winston Duke is massive. Man. Like he's always been a big guy, but he's getting ready for something. Like is he British? Can he go be Bond? Like my God, I don't know. He's
Okay, I'm gonna put this up. So here's the video of him hugging Winston Duke, and you can see just.
Does Winston just envelop him?
It's this from Planet of the Apes.
Oh, you're right.
It's the Charlton Heston with this actor guy. Oh yeah, bring it up now, David. Here, I'll get rid of the.
Oh my gosh, he is.
A mountain of a man. He's like, okay, yeah,
He
go ahead
is
and
the
play it
mountain.
now. Yeah,
So-
he is the mountain. Here he comes up.
Just a second here. He comes out, does the hugs and the embrace. I mean, he swallows him up.
Yeah, it's
Don't
time
break
to,
don't break T'Challa Jr. Please.
You remember?
Please, we don't do that anymore.
You remember after I think it was I can't remember which movie, but at some point Hugh Jackman got in touch with Dwayne Johnson. He's like, I really want to get big for the next one. That's what David Johnson needs to do now. He needs to go hit up the final boss and be like, man, I need to Winston Duke just like big brothered me. I need to put on the pounds. So again, I don't care. At the end of the day, I really don't care that much. They'll get him in the suit. What I care about is the acting, right? And all these fan casts so far, when it's like, oh, this doesn't look like this person's too short. To me, it's all about let's get a great actor first, and then you can always work backwards. It's easier to get a great actor to put on the muscle than a muscly person to put on the great acting, right? So, and David Johnson is the A+ choice there. So
I mean, again, they're setting themselves up. So we were saying like next year, as it should be, there should only be one film next year, and that's Secret Wars. That's all they need to do. That's all they need to lead up to with it. You have a couple, we have Daredevil season 3. I don't know if we don't have anything else confirmed for.
not yet, no.
Not for 2027. So that's the only thing confirmed. But
Yeah.
I put it out there as well. If there is, I'm very suspect of anything else beyond Daredevil for next year.
Yeah, or a special presentation, or like
special
something smaller.
presentation,
Yeah,
something small or animated. And we'll have X-Men 97 season 3.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they got
So-
that, and there might even be like, and we might have another Spider-Man stuff. But for the big like mainstream stuff, I don't think so. But yeah, and I think that makes sense to just focus on that, right?
So here we go, Travis. We've got now, if it doesn't move again, Batman Part 2, February. We put Ghost Rider in March,
March.
April.
Yeah. What was the? They Oh, they just said 2028 for Ghost Rider, right? They didn't have
But
yeah.
I'm just saying that's.
Well, remember though, we talked about this. Technically, I think they'll move it, but technically, there is a Marvel movie dated the same day as the Batman 2, February
It's not-
17th.
yeah, they're moving that.
They will move it, but it is they kept that slot. So I feel like probably the March April slot.
Would you open the unofficial summer begins. Now it seems to be end of March, April. Like you put it at the beginning of summer and move X-Men towards the end of the summer. I think you got to put X-Men at that in a key summer date. I don't think you.
I think where Spidey is right now. Like that,
Yeah.
like the end of
That
July,
end of July
sort
time.
of, yeah, because that makes sense. Because even like I know we're banking a lot on this, but like Project Hail Mary did come out in March, so it's like, well, that works. They put Gosling in March again, and then it's like the spring summer, and then you end the summer with the X-Men, and then you end the year with Black Panther with this kind of a send off to Coogler in a way. But like it's I'm gonna be very curious how this goes. I do think it's Coogler's last movie, but this guy, they're clearly, if they cast a new T'Challa, there's going to be, if this is a success, a Black Panther 4, a 5.
Oh, yeah.
This is not the end, right? So
No,
I'm
but
very,
Coogler can be associated as an executive producer, but he
Exactly.
is done directing at this point.
I think so too.
For
Yeah.
that,
it's almost like he's like ending his reign to kind of, and then send it off to another person. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure he had like a bunch to do with the casting. I don't think they said, here's David Johnson, go. I'm sure he had tons of input, but it is kind of like a passing the baton. It's almost like, to me, if you watch The Dark Knight Rises and how that movie ends with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but if they made a Batman movie after, that's what it's going to be like in the MCU, where Black Panther 4 will be like, oh, this is the younger person taking over for the Bruce Wayne, the T'Challa Senior, and now they're on some Avengers. So it's going to be interesting. So Vincent Moore says he wasn't that big in the Us movie. No, not at all. Like in Jordan Peele's Us, he's a big broad guy, but he wasn't toned up like that. So he's getting ready, and that's why, that's what I was gonna say too, right? You're talking about that is that's why I think we're hearing about these dates, and why we're hearing about X-Men rumors is because they can't announce X-Men, but if it's coming 2028, they gotta start shooting it, but they're gonna start planning for it, right? Same thing as Black Panther. They're gonna probably start pre-pro like in the next few months, so
you will get your official X-Men cast announcement at the next San Diego Comic-Con. That's who you bring out.
At the next one, what if they come
year.
next year though? You think so?
That's what I'm saying. Next year,
Yeah.
I think
Really?
I think next year you start bringing out that cast because
So what, you
Once
kill-
we get through Doomsday.
You kill off all the Fox ones in Doomsday, and then you're safe. Yeah, I guess you could do that,
you
right?
kill out most of them to the effect that
Yeah, not
they
Hugh.
had their time.
Yeah.
You have
stick
Hugh.
in.
Hey, you might
Till he's
get
90.
Charles and Magneto somehow making it.
Yeah. Also, if Johansson Johnson stays as Coogler regular after Black Panther. Oh, just saying in other movies. Yeah, that'd be great. If Coogler and Johnson like have a rapport and they start working together and whatever Coogler does, sign me up. He's one of the best upcoming actors. This reminds me a lot of when they got Florence Pugh for Yelena, and that was at that time where because I remember talking with Brent, and I don't think he really knew who she was. I'm like, she's like the best actress in the world right now. He's like, oh, really? That's good. I'll take that. And that's where Johnson has more notoriety than she did at the time. But it reminds me a lot of the Pugh casting of, we want someone that's great and someone we're going to invest a lot of time and money in, So.
And this is what you could do. Think about this. So you have at least, our problem was no Avengers movie until now. Mm-hmm. You now have the idea of now you have X-Men and Avengers. You can go every other year if you wanted to, or something to that effect of you don't need an Avengers movie next year, obviously. You bring in Avengers after you give Secret Wars
you can
times
wait
to breathe.
Yeah, you can wait
like
3
that.
years for another Avenger,
Within
because that's
3
how it
years,
used to be, right? Because it was 2012, 15, 18, and then obviously Endgame was different.
They have to do something to not have this happen again. Avengers will need to be within 3 years.
And again, we've debated this on GeekVerse. I really hope they can go back to Avengers 1 and 2, where we can get a team of 6 to 8 and like not a small threat, but not completely multiverse ending when we build back up to the big crossover. Because I think it would help if they look at Sam and they go, hey, we don't know if he can lead another singles movie. We think it could bomb or not be successful. What do we do? That's what was great about the Avengers, the first lineup, is that's what happened to Hulk. Hulk's movie disappointed. You put him in Avengers and they built that character back up. You can build characters back up in a team. But if it's that massive crossover of 50 characters, it's kind of harder, right?
But I think in the sense of, you say back to an Avengers 1, like the problem with Avengers now is that they have to be a big threat. And I don't think you're going to get a smaller threat, especially now with the
and
X-Men
a big
coming
event,
into play.
It's
going to be your event movie. X-Men and Avengers will become your event movies, and like it or not, that's it's gonna have to be like that.
I agree with you. I don't like it, but I agree with you. I always wish they found another term other than Avengers that could have signified, like, so people know, oh, this is a big event movie. But now I think the GA just says, oh, Avengers, that's the one with everybody, right?
Yep.
Where it's like, well, no, that's not supposed to be it, but that is it now, you know? So
Well, you get that in the comics. You'll have that as Avengers in comics, but you can't have that in the movies. That ship has gone and sailed.
yeah, absolutely. It has, but I hope they find a way to walk it back a little. I hope with the X-Men, maybe let's try it. Let's
you have that is it's your favorite thing that hasn't happened yet. Young Avengers and Champions. There you go. Boom.
yeah, or Thunderbolts, like with the new Avengers, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hey,
but,
Thunderbolts
no,
too.
you're right.
It's Thunderbolts. Yeah.
It's cool. Denzel.
Yep, you got it.
Denzel. I'm trying. I got to work on it forever. It's going to be Black Panther. He was a mentor to Chadwick. Yeah, I think that's, again, they haven't confirmed it, but I think it will happen. I'm hoping, but
I think they will. They especially after they got screwed last time with Angela Bassett not getting her win that she could have. They're like, we're bringing out the big black guns. Like we're going all for it.
Oh, I'm glad you said it because I can't say it. All the post credits are just going to be Xavier. So I have a school. Yeah, maybe, right? Just getting them. Yeah, so these things not being confirmed as Gene. No, absolutely right. And that was one question we had from John and Patreon. We didn't talk much Spider-Man. We're not going to do because this ended up being more news than I thought. But I don't think there is any other characters that could be. There's tons of characters that could be, but I just think it's kind of there's too much smoke that fire now, right? You know, like there's too much.
I guess it's either Jean Grey, Rachel Summers. That's it.
Yeah,
one of the
Rachel Summers. Yeah. Let's see. I wonder how much of Night Angels we get in the new Black Panther. I think they'll be around. You know,
in those Power Ranger suits. Oh yeah.
I hope they're around in that, but so. Let's see here, and then I wanted to bring up this week because we got
here's something they could really do. Follow me here.
Yeah.
The Tanahashi Coates run of Black Panther introduced the intergalactic empire of Wakanda.
Yeah.
That is something that you can merge both worlds in the sense of you've got Wakanda thing, and then you got bring in the Wakanda and the cosmic. You can really expand that universe and really open up some possibilities there.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. That could be a long way to go. It's probably because my computer's listened to me, but my first ad on Facebook is for a Mubi.com movie with David Johnson and Tom Blythe. So there you go. My computer heard me. But let's see. I wanted to share. I stopped scared. Hang on. StreamYard moving all this stuff on me. Can I just do this? Okay, hang on. So yeah, this is what our mini slate is. This is the slate we're getting tonight. Is this we got Avengers, Secret Wars, Ghost Rider, Black Panther 3, and then like I said, I think we all assume that X-Men is somewhere at the end, middle, beginning, somewhere in that.
I would love it to be, the Uncanny X-Men instead of just X-Men. I would love it to be the Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah. No, I think it's possible. But yeah, we got not even a logo or anything of X-Men, which again, I always thought that was going to be the case. I just started to question myself when we got so much rumored casting, right? I thought, okay, maybe they are going to do something, but maybe they're going to hold on. We're going to wait for a little bit. But yeah, I will run down all the announcements. We'll give a quick little overall, and then we can get out of here because we had some good downtime in between. So I talk, and then I can put those in the podcast feeds. Yeah. But we had, oh my God, where is... Oh, there's going to be... Oh, people are going to... Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so maybe the next cast for Marvel Alliance and GV will have some stuff. They're going to do press interviews after this panel now with some of the cast and the filmmakers of Avengers. So stuff's going to come up. But here we go. We got Eric Voss. He was on the ground. I'll pull up this tweet because this was like a good kind of breakdown of everything we got here. So
yeah, Eric Voss was my favorite follow during this because he was really quick on his stuff.
He did a good job. So Marvel Studios panel has concluded. In summary, Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider, directed by Sean Levy, coming 2028. David Johnson is playing T'Challa Jr., Black Panther 3, coming in December 15th, 2028. Obviously, Ghost Rider, we don't have an official month yet. New Avengers Doomsday trailer was shown. It was terrifying. Lots of new thank you, man, shots of Doom as peak abilities. And again, he didn't put it here, but it mentioned that Doom was from that universe and they have a history, which I think is obviously something we can only talk a little bit about because we're going to see more of that when we get that trailer and that footage. But I think that's a big confirmation for everybody. So, yeah, David, on the whole, what do you think about all these announcements to wrap us up? We'll go around the room here to wrap us up. But, yeah, what did you think about this panel and some of these things he announced?
Like I said, I was hoping for some X-Men stuff, but I'm not surprised. But I do think that we got some good announcements. I wasn't expecting a whole movie out of Ghost Rider and for them to just, throw all of that out there, logo and everything. That's cool. I'm very happy about the Black Panther 3 announcement and where that's headed. And so I'm really looking forward to Doomsday now. And I feel like, okay, this maybe... My thought process at the beginning may be wrong. If they hype this up correctly, then we could have $2 billion movies. I still think Spider-Man definitely, but now we could have $2 billion movies.
Mm-hmm. And it's like what Chris said. We also, right? It's like if Spidey's good and we had a Doomsday end credit or something, that just keeps building. It's like people will be, if they can, fall back in love with the MCU. But again, it's interesting. We go from 1 movie to 3 movies. They're back to doing 3 movies already, right? In 2000. Well, again, we don't know. I guess X-Men's not confirmed, but if X-Men does come out, they're back to that, which I felt like they were kind of pulling back on, but we are back there. So, we'll see. But Taylor, what did you feel about some of these announcements? Obviously, Ghost Rider. You got, not only did you get confirmation that character's back, not only did you get confirmation of a massive star, you got a confirmation of a full freaking movie going on. So, how you feel about that?
a full movie of that. Like, I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought, sure, maybe there's a chance, big screen again, see him, in a collaborative project with other MCU members. But yeah, just a whole film. That's just, holy smokes. And just to, yeah, I can't express how satisfied and happy I am. I remember seeing that first Ghost Rider in the cage in the theater with my friends when I was a little kid, and just the excitement of that, and just the, it's obviously not Nick Cage, it's Ryan Gosling, who I love. Coming off of Project Hail Mary, like I'm all like googly eyed for Ryan Gosling right now with what he's been doing. So. Yeah, just seeing that movie in theaters is gonna definitely bring me back and just kind of capture a lot of nostalgia for me, just to have this character being portrayed on the big screen again, and just the ideas now of just where he could pop up elsewhere. Because I do feel like we're gonna see him maybe in like Secret Wars, or maybe somewhere else. Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like it's not just gonna be first appearance in his movie. I think he's gonna have a little bit of a surprise somewhere else. And on top of that, with Black Panther, sorry,
she didn't like
she's
that.
excited.
Satine didn't like that cat. She's one of those. It's not the real T'Challa. It's T'Challa Jr. No.
Yeah. No, this is great. Like, I can't wait. I feel like that movie is going to be doing a fantastic job at paving the way forward.
Popping off a little bit.
Yeah, just popping off. And just kind of paying tribute and homage to, Chadwick's kind of legacy with that character and just what they were setting up before. And yeah, I think it's just going to be a really, really awesome time just to see that logo setup of Doomsday, Secret Wars, Ghost Rider, and then Black Panther 3. I'm so happy. I'm happy. But the X-Men thing, I feel like if we weren't having, and this could be one of 2 ways. If we didn't have 97 season 2 going on right now, I feel like if they were to drop something X-Men, yes, it would be very popular because people would be like, I need X-Men right now. I'm going to go watch 97 season 2 on Disney Plus because I'm seeing there's going to be X-Men stuff here, logo drop, whatever, coming in 2028, 2029. Or like, hey, let's not do anything X-Men related and reveal it here because we don't want to pull attention away from like 97 and just kind of keep that kind of,
and the Fox cast,
going.
Right?
And the Fox cast too.
You don't
That's
want to make them
absolutely right.
feel like afterthoughts.
You don't.
If it's like
that's right. You don't want to.
the
It's
younger,
Mark Hamill
sexier X-Men are on the way.
versus Daisy Ridley kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's 100% right.
Yeah, and to point out before I throw it to Chris, people I've seen online pointing out that there's an untitled Marvel movie slated for July 28th in 2028. So that could be your X-Men there, right there. I think there were some adjustments because it looks like there's one in May as well, May 5th, which obviously they like that May date a lot. So I guess you could have Ghost Rider there and then X-Men there. And again, who knows, right? X-Men, maybe it's a thing where if X-Men's going to be a big shoot, maybe it's not till early 2029. I still think it's 2028, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's, you never know, right? With these things change all the time. But
depends with the casting and where they are with the script.
Exactly, right? But they got those 3 dates scheduled out right there, so
Just to interject here, so the whole thing with the Russos having another Avengers project, so I'm assuming Secret Wars is not going to be 2 parts because I feel like this would have been a place to kind of like.
Said no.
Feige said no, so I don't
Yeah.
think so. No, I just still think that
Not on this world, he said.
yeah, not in this world. So I think they just maybe changed their mind because I think they've said like, oh, we'd always want to like run with Secret Wars, but they literally said in an interview themselves that they could be working on something more of Marvel and like the Avengers realm. I can't remember what the quote was. Maybe I'll try and find it, but
No, yeah, they said something to that effect. Like they could be, but they did nothing definite. And I think it's going to be one of those things that to your guy Krager trying to just get a movie out at that point. Let's let the Russos just get Secret Wars done, let them rest a little bit, and then
Exactly,
not going to say
right?
no right now.
Because it's one of those things like, let's say this all goes terribly wrong and Doomsday and Secret Wars are a mess. No, they're not coming back, right?
Yeah.
That's not a thing, right? So, I'm going to try and find... Yeah, I can't remember what they said, but I'll look while Chris is going. Chris, what did you think of everything we got here today?
Yeah, I mean, we said it first. Feige said we've got some surprises for you. You know, I wouldn't say Ryan Gosling coming out as Ghost Rider was a great. We've heard it rumored for a while, so that wasn't one of those like I'm glad it's confirmed. Was, as we said, it's a movie. It's not a show. It's a movie. Or he's not tied to Doomsday. He's not tied to Secret Wars. He's getting his own project. He may be in Secret Wars, you know, but he's getting his own movie. And as a Ghost Rider fan through and through, love it. I'm here for it. It's so much of this universe that can really delve into some really good stuff. The question is, are we going for PG-13? Are we going for R? I think that's something that's going to be an interesting discussion. You know, we've got Sean Levy directing. That's great. But the naming of our, T'Challa 2, David Johnson, I'm so excited for him. So excited for this cast. That's a great way to begin it. Great way to end it. We didn't need a trailer. We've heard, David, you talked about the footage that shows Doomsday, the little hype there. Yeah, Marvel brought some good guns in this one. So,
And we're rounding out here. So if anyone has any quick questions or anything to throw out, you can. I'm gonna bring up 2 things here. One, I guess the suit was for Deadpool was neither the X-Force one or the Deadpool 2 suit. It was a Deadpool suit that was made completely out of denim. So there you go. It was just something for Ryan Reynolds and what he's doing there. So there you go. And then I think to your point when you're talking about that too, Chris, I think I think with Levy directing, I do think it'll be I guess he did Deadpool Wolverine. That's rated R. I guess if I would never pizza bet. If I had to take a guess, I would bet that Ghost Rider is PG-13 because I think they can do enough to get it there, and they might also worry like, hey, Deadpool Wolverine being radar, that's fine because big characters, big actors. Ghost Rider, do we want to gamble on that? I don't know. But when we talked about the Soul for Soul, this and Blade, when they announced Blade just had Mahershala on the logo. They got a date for this, even if it's just a year. They got a date, and they already got a director. Those are 2 things we never had with Blade, like on the announcement day, right? It came and they kicked it down the road and but it took a while to get there. That to me makes it seem like, okay, they are at least way more in-depth talk than Blade ever was at this point, right? Just the Comic-Con announcement stage, so that's great. So, no, I think it's what Feige said is that's what you want to do. Of course, Comic-Con is a stage where you got to pay lots of money, and they could put this all out and it would get some buzz and be announced that's cool. But what they do want is those hype moments of the stage. They want to see that emotion of David Johnson on stage, and that's where it works, and that's where Chris, we've talked about this many times with William and Dave over there. It's like, if DC doesn't have the budget, they got to find it. Because, you got to have some of these moments. I get it, what James Gunn says of, I can just tweet this from my phone and have the same impact. You can, but there is something to this of just that big whoosh sort of thing, right? And that's where it's like, that's where someone walk on a stage. And that's where for that crowd, that must have been great. And for the future, and this comes from someone that's very pessimistic, right? For me, the MCU, I don't think it's like what Chris said, where it's nowhere near like DC, where they haven't stumbled. They've had lots of falls, right? I think Marvel, they've had a couple falls, but they've always gone back up. Where DC, they've had some falls, had to go to the ER, get checked out, and then when it's like in GTA, when you get gunned down, and you get off, like, oh, that was rough. You get back in there. With Marvel, they still got, even within these phases, right? I know someone said, oh, phase 4 is a wet fart, but it's like, Oh yeah, right here I can bring up WS says they have to start next phase hot if they expect the audience to stick around. Looks like they got that now instead of the wet for that it was phase 4. I can agree and disagree because you still have $1 billion movie in phase 4 of Spider-Man. You still got Multiverse of Madness, Wakanda Forever, Thor 5. You have massive big hits. WandaVision and Loki, when those started, were massive hits, like TV-wise. People were talking about those, right? So I can't agree with that whole statement, but that's where even in the rocky phases of the Multiverse saga,
There's still gems.
yeah, there's still gems. They've had
again,
big wins. So that's where for me, go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's okay if phase 4 wasn't your tempo. That's okay. We're not here to convince you otherwise.
Oh, yeah.
but
No,
it's
exactly.
But we will say there's more quality there than just labeling the whole phase like that.
Yeah, and that's where I am with the Marvel stuff, where I can still be very excited for Ghost Rider. Even though Secret Wars and Doomsday sucks, it's gonna be like, what a bummer. That hurt a lot of stuff, but hopefully X-Men and Ghost Rider are good. For my overall excitement for the MCU, yeah, I would very much like Doomsday and Secret Wars to deliver, like I said, for me, at least a 7 out of 10. At least get me that route, and I say, okay, we can get back on track. It's just what we've talked about this whole stream of the connective, the message, the story, making it work together, having characters not lost. That's what we need going forward. So that's where I hope that's what Avengers can do. But these other projects, Black Panther 3, that's going to be its own pretty much thing with Coogler. Ghost Rider, that'd be its own thing, and hopefully X-Men, right? So I think these are strong announcements because I would have told you, don't make a Ghost Rider movie. But if you say, hey, we got Ryan Gosling, Sean Levy, I'm like, okay, I think you can make that movie. I'm not saying it's going to be a guaranteed hit. I'm very interested to see how that performs at the box office and, like, what do we get? Is it something darker? Is it Thor Ragnarok levels of Ryan? Because Ryan Gosling loves being goofy, right? And he said in an interview recently, he said he does not do darker stuff because of his family. So that could tell me that Ghost Rider could just be more of a big fun...
PG-13.
Yeah, PG-13, still like a horror vibes, but like more it's like spooky house vibes, not like, obsession vibes, that type of deal, right? So I think what they said, though, Kevin Feige says, hey, we come to Comic-Con to deliver. That's delivering right there. You have 2 huge announcements with Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider and now a new T'Challa, and you got footage there. Among all the other stuff you had, and even little stuff, they're smart. Hey, Ryan, can you come sit in the crowd, crack some jokes, and get people excited? That's experience for people, right? There's a couple people there that like, oh, I saw Ryan Gosling, right? So I think they did, as somebody sitting from my couch talking about this, I think they did a good job. And, Foggy, everybody, thank you for giving us stuff to talk about as well. It's always a bummer when we do Summer Games Fest or the E3s back in the day or these Comic-Con panels where things happen. It's like, oh, there's nothing here. But, there was some stuff here. Anything else, gentlemen, to say before we get out of here? Any points, questions, somewhere?
You said, like a Ragnarok kind of parallel there. And I hope Ghost Rider would be more like a Ragnarok and not like a Love and Thunder.
I
honestly, like, I would love it if it was... Because Infinity War wasn't necessarily dark for Thor's arc, but, I mean, that moment when he's just leveling with Rocket and the ship and whatnot about all the enemies he's faced, everything, like, I would love that, because that's not dark and depressing. It's just kind of like a grounding moment for the character. I think Ryan could do something like that. That's not touching upon anything super dark, even though the character is a dark character. So.
Exactly. Even Project Hail Mary, right? There's dark stuff in there. I think he just meant more like he doesn't want to be in the drives anymore and Place Beyond the Pines, like that type of stuff, which I don't think Ghost Rider would be. But that's fine. So yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, Marvel Alliance, you guys got anything to say?
Yep, excited for the future as always.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm just super excited. I'm starting to see some of the interviews that are coming out now. So that's even more so Rebecca Romijn saying that this is a slightly different take on Mystique, and she couldn't wait to do it again, and that she actually feels ownership of the character. So I'm excited for everything that's coming forward with this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, check out Marvel Alliance because these guys are going live on. Because what's the schedule again? Because I know you're going live for Thursday, but
we're going an hour later than normal, so we are just pushing the show back an hour.
And is it
so? It will be.
Are you kicking X-Men to the week after? Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
so it's a doubleheader next week.
We're booting X-Men back, and we're going to do 2 episodes of X-Men in 2 weeks. And so this coming up week, will focus strictly on Brand New Day, starting at 9:05 Central Time, 10:05 Eastern. So yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah, look out
Check
for
us
them.
out.
Yeah, they're on our YouTube channel. They go live every Thursday, usually every Thursday when we got all the news there at around 6 p.m. PST. And then if you want podcasts, the Friday the next day. But yeah, they're going live a little earlier on Spider-Man. But yeah, they're covering X-Men. They do a great job. They got Comic Club and Fact and Fiction, which is always one of my favorite things. And then yeah, in 2 weeks you guys will have tons to talk about because you're gonna have X-Men and then Fall from Spider-Man. So it's gonna be again. It's I think that's one thing that people, even myself, can discount sometimes. That we've seen with Pixar. It just takes a few wins and it gets back in that mode. Pixar had a string of bad hits or bad movies as far as like financial wise. And it's like Toy Story, Inside Out, Zootopia. Same thing as Marvel. They could be on this run now of Spider-Man, Doomsday, Secret War, and that hype could be there. Now, I think like DWS said, they have to look at everything they did last saga and be like, hey, how can we sustain that? How can we not lose it? And I think you guys talked about this and we talked about the Geekverse where Foggy's saying, hey, after Secret Wars, there's going to be a new universe and it's going to be much more streamlined. I think they know, okay, we went too much last time. There was too much. The shows, all the movies, they do got to find a way. And, it's either way, good, bad. It's going to be an interesting journey for us to watch and talk about. But, guys, thank us. No, thanks for joining us. This is a great time.
you.
Hopefully they do it again next year. If not, we'll be back in 2 years. Taylor, thanks for being here. Everybody, check us all wherever. Feeds down below, and I promise when you hear